Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of MNW Firing Line. I am your host, Joe Mojo, and, well, as you guys can see, I am unfortunately riding solo tonight, but hey, I can try and keep you guys entertained as best I can. Yeah, actually, no, let's face it, Robbie's the face of this operation so far. Anyway, we've got a lot, and I mean a lot, to talk about today, so hey, let us get right on into it. Also, if my voice seems shot, I do apologize for that. I went to go see AEW last night. Yeah, I know, other promotions, other things like that, but hey, it's all wrestling in the end. So, let us get right on into it, shall we? So, tonight we're going to start with... Tonight is a true to form where we have Friday Night Flashbang first, as well as Warzone next, and we're going to start out with how Flashbang typically starts out, a message from the World Heavyweight Champion.
I see you're real cute. Don't mess with my microphone. Now, as I was trying to stay before the truck decided to have a little bit of a problem, what do you know, Flashbang? You know, there's a very famous quote from a very famous basketball player. There are people that wish it would happen. There are people that want it to happen, and there are people that make it happen. But from Schmuck, from the Minotaurs of Chicago, knew what he was talking about, because I made it happen. I did what nobody else on this roster could do when no one believed in the cartel. And now, ain't nobody taking this championship away from me. That's very cute of you to come out here and say all that, but, you know, I couldn't help but notice you've been playing the same games as the Lizard Boy. That's right, using your buddies to team up on people. You no different than Nero. So as far as I'm concerned, we just went back in time. The only difference is you about 40 pounds heavier than the Lizard. Would you look at that? Out of the woodworks. Here comes Spike. You know, I kind of expected to have to deal with you. I didn't think you'd be stupid enough to come out here and interrupt the brand new champion in his coronation speech. You really got no manners. I thought you were supposed to be from the South. That's true, and I do have some hospitality when people deserve it, and you don't deserve nothing but a good chime. That's what they like to call you, right? That's what I hear. That's the rumblings backstage. I do hope you keep that championship warm. You see, Nero ain't the only one with a legendary reign around. You're right. The problem is, you needed your buddy Burden to get that job done. And congratulations on him coming back. But I ain't scared of Burden, and I ain't scared of you. You lost to the Mad World, the cast-offs of the cartel. Why would I worry about you? Oh, come on now, Vicky. I thought you of all people would understand what it's like to be underestimated. You see, that's the thing about being a part of a team. You don't really get to showcase your individual talents. Burden and I sacrifice for each other. But now, the shackles are off, man. And you're going to find out what Spike all about. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but while you might have won the Monster Mash, what you did not win is the chance to fight me one-on-one right now, or even next. What you won is an opportunity. So what makes you think you're gonna go first? Nothing, because I call shots. And let the mind games begin. I tell you everything. You can duck and dodge me all you like. I'm sure you're used to it. The way you criticized us for ducking the cartel way back when, I see that was just projection. You scared of us, Spike. But sooner or later, the voodoo don't do that voodoo will do so well all over you. I don't believe in magic, Spike. I believe in strength. Tangible strength. Strength in numbers. So like I said, if you think you're so hot, why don't you bring your big bad Burden friend out here, and I'll show you that a war boss is a bigger threat than a made-up zombie. And see, now you talking. Now you gonna piss off the Beast and Spike. you own Victor. And after Burden buries your little boy Nitsu, you ain't gonna have no more excuses for ducking me. I'm gonna be watching you close. Don't try no funny business.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Spike calling out the new World Heavyweight Champion, Victor Vicious. Something that I'm actually very curious of is the fact that this, with Spike winning the Monster Mash, I'm stumbling upon my words. He is not cashing it in just yet. So it kind of leads me to believe, is this kind of like a like Money in the Bank situation to where Spike could just cash it in whenever? Or is it more of a... Hey, Brad. Thank you, bud. Apologies for the Borfin. Anyway, or is this more of like a Spike kind of picks a day and Victor has to be ready? So, Victor's already on his toes, and it's like his, his first week as champion. He has a lot to go through, much like... We have a match coming up. We got the Crimson Phoenix versus Brandon Boss. Brandon Boss, we have not seen him in a hot minute, and he's still looking great. He's going up against Apex Crimson Phoenix, as you can see here, doing his typical fire entrance. I love this entrance. I love it so much. And here we go with Brandon coming out the gate. You don't really see a lot of technical wrestling out the gate nowadays, especially with MNW. Crimson kind of coming off of that pay-per-view loss to, technical loss to the Cartel. Granted, I believe it was Vaporwave who got pinned. And Brandon just showing off that MMA background of his. I believe they called him the not the shonen hero. Everyone just keeps screaming Joestar. I don't know what kind of reference that is. I even interviewed the guy. I don't get it. Ooh, just right there.
Nice knee drop face bust.
Apologies if I sound like I'm kind of going out of breath here. I'm trying to go solo while also trying to save my voice. Just tossing him out of the ring there. Going through the rope, drop kick. I swear, Phoenix was on it's like a literal fire got relit within him after Breakdown 7. And just tossing him right in. Everybody will notice that, this match has not been edited outside of the entrances. Phoenix was on a tear this entire match. Going up, Phoenix, driver, 1, 2, 3, and your winner.
Wow!
I believe this match was about 2.5 minutes long. Less than a minute. But less than 2 minutes. But we got Red Star Roman coming in immediately. Got Jumping Phoenix. Now, I believe the common consensus is that Victor hired him, much like he hired a ruling Starhand earlier. And, I mean, Roman's another one that we haven't really seen, except for the odd job here and there. And here he's being paid to take out Crimson Phoenix. Although I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of led to believe that Hutch was the one who did it. Because Hutch was like, "Hey, this is kind of sneaky. Try this stuff." Although a Mandalorian would probably want to do the job themselves. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really know much about Star Wars lore or their universe versus lore that's classified as Star Wars. I don't know. I'm operating on. I should not be allowed to do this on my own. Anyway.
I don't know if I would want to attack Apex right now.
And I am so interested to see where Crimson's going to go with this. Because, I mean, not only was that win very quick. I mean, Brandon got some offense in, but he didn't really get a chance to show off his his hard striking style, like that power bomb into that Boston Crab he did back at Multivania 2020. Oh my god, that was so good. But hopefully Brandon gets back on the horse, back on his stride. And Crimson, I would like to see. I mean, personally speaking, that fire does not appear to be dying anytime soon. So we will see where that leads. Who knows? Maybe it'll end up with Phoenix challenging Victor himself for the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, excuse me. But coming up next, we got a promo from what said Mandalorian. Ladies and gentlemen, Hutch Kale.
So once again, the cartel was underestimated. Nobody thought we had a shot in that tag match, and especially nobody outside of the cartel thought that we had a shot to upset Nero. But we had a plan, and it was executed to perfection, because that's what we do. Now that the World Heavyweight Championship is where it belongs, it's time to focus on the rest of the MNW Championships here on Flashbang, starting with you, Mad World. Because you have held those belts long enough, and it's time to bring them back home. Insult the Mandalorian culture with your ridiculous knockoff armor. You insult our language with your butchered reciting of lines that my wife probably wrote for you. So here's how this is going to work. You're going to give us the title shot that we deserve. I'm tired of you manipulating my wife, and I'm tired of my wife trying to duck and dodge me. If you have a contract to fulfill, then bring it. Because the cartel is done playing games. We will rip those titles from around your waist, and we will leave you beaten, broken, and unable to compete in this ring. Because you have insulted everything that has ever mattered to me. Both of you. And while I love one of you dearly, I despise one of you even more. I'm going to make an example out of you, Madness. And I'm going to make my wife watch. And then I'm going to deal with her. And when it's all said and done, the cartel will once again be World Tag Team Champions.
I do not want to cross him backstage. I mean, I know I'm protected with the backstage clause, but there's something about an irate partner, and especially when their other half is involved. I feel for Hutch at this point, but the main question on everyone's minds is who is the individual who hired the Mad World, specifically Kuso, to take out Victor Vicious? I mean, Lord knows I have my theories, and there's no backup for them whatsoever. Anywho, but coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have our Flashbang promo of the week. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, Mr. Rabbit.
Red. The henchman. That's what they used to call me. Going from port to port, hunting down the worst the Multiverse had. Unspeakable, unknowable things. That's what I've done. It's in the past now. But time is a recursive thing. Circle back to Flashbang. What's mine traded hands? That's unfortunate, really. He was holding it for me, and you know who I mean when I said he. And now Vicious has it. Does he know what to do with that? What are his ambitions? What are the cartel's ambitions? And don't they know what those things do? What are his ambitions? It's a problem. The equation is not being taken seriously, and that's a problem. It's probably on me. I was too carefree. That can change. And not to say we're terrible. Matrix is a great boon, but we need more. That's apparent. A thought comes to play, though. The cowboy. I've come to speak with him. There at a low hour, Red came and spoke. And now, we are three. The henchman, the prophet, and the cowboy. And then that ambition, what the cartel may be lacking, will blossom. I've seen the numbers. The equation's here now. And who can argue with that?
And we go right into the grand equation. Lionel Matrix, hey, Mr. Rabbit, being led to the ring by the cult classic, Henry Colt, facing up against Electro Man and the VR junkie, Electro Reality. There is so much about Rabbit's promo that I have no idea what's going on with any of it. Like, who is he? Like, one, who is he talking to? For one, I mean that's got to be the more obvious question. Two, he was a henchman before, and that's how he traveled the multiverse originally. Lots to ask about. I mean, if I could go back in time and ask him that when I was doing the call out. But anyway, back to the match here. We have Electro Reality. So we have the VR junkie of Electro Reality, trying to look at Matrix here. Matrix trapping him in this crossface. I never really thought that Lionel had a submissive, like a technical style to him. Nice bulldog though, very beautiful. Another question that everyone seems to ask is, what is VR junkie looking at? What is does he think he's in a wrestling match, like for real or for fake? It's one of those things that, you know what, again, hindsight's 2020. I really should have talked to him a little bit. And looks like we got a 100 bits from the Flame Revenant. Thank you for your bits. And hello, Pumpkin Panic. How are you doing today? Yeah. See, I'm still very huge on Electro Reality as a team. I talk about it all the time. Like, from where they were to where they are now, they deserve their spot and then some. Like, hell, if they want to, they could probably go for another. Another run at the tag titles. I know they didn't do too well against the Bone Warriors, but who knows? They might have a good shot against Mad World. And here we got, hey, Mr. Rabbit coming right in. And then immediately getting set up. Oh, look at that right hook. Running the ropes. Nice little block there. Mr. Rabbit, a wily veteran. For those who don't know, he actually used to be on the Warzone roster. And then he took a bit of a break and then came back as Flashbang's general manager originally. Little bit of knowledge from the before times in the long ago. Excuse me one moment.
And look at the power of Electro Man. Oh, and an uppercut into the ropes.
It's still a beautiful right hook.
Look at here, looking for the clothesline. Matrix telling
and here we see Electro Man going in for that vicious looking clothesline. On social media, it looks like from back in the way in Lucha Underground. No, I believe it was actually during the dawn of the Nexus, like dawn of MNW. I would have to go back onto that call out episode just to see. Here we see Electro Man setting up. Rabbit, bam, knock, discus, clothesline. Rest in peace, Brody Lee. And broken up by Matrix. Matrix, I swear, he's definitely one of the best up-and-comers that Flashbang has at this current moment. Granted, in an earlier promo, he mentioned it was only him and Naja. Well, outside of one other person right now, but yeah. Beautiful belly-to-belly suplex. Kicks out at 2 Electro Man. Beautiful kip up, though. He is full of energy. He is feeling the crowd, feeling that energy. And going in for a crossface of his own with his leg trapped right on the lower spine. Ugh. God, I think he would actually practice that on me back when he was general manager. It is not comfortable whatsoever. And I'm a large individual, like in height, not in, well, actually, no, kind of in weight too, but not in a good way. I mean, listen to this. That is not muscle. That is all fat. And see, here we see a familiar scene. Well, not familiar scene. Here we have Electro Man trying to get to VR Junkie. And then Rabbit setting up for the Hell Ride. But positioning is definitely in Electro Man's favor on this one. He's trying to reach for those ropes. He doesn't seem like he's getting it. And there he goes, right under the rope. Just twisting and cranking at that neck. Oh my god. I need a... Well, I'm not gonna lie though, reading at that, I think I need a massage. I think I need to get my own neck snapped in a good way. But very good job of changing the momentum of this match. Although Rabbit is doing a Rabbit is just cutting, is definitely trying. Flubbing on my words here. Rabbit here is definitely trying to cut off Electro Man from VR Junkie by any means possible. And then here we go, Hell Ride. Actually, no, I don't believe this is the Hell Ride. All right, well, according to Generickson, it's the Hell Ride, and then immediate tap out. For those who are joining in, unfortunately, no, Robbie Slick is out sick. Hang on. Hey, marketing. No, okay. No. And then we got the Grand Equation finally picking up a win after a couple of not great starts, but I think they're kind of getting their stride back. Like, they're finally finding that stride. And especially with the addition of Henry Colt. One of the best submission people that we have in Haberstar Rabbit. One of the best strikers that we have in Henry Colt. And one of the best up-and-comers in Lionel Matrix. The three of them could definitely give Doom a run for their money if they can actually find that it factor, that vibe that to succeed as not only a tag team but a trio. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got more coming up here. In fact, coming up next, we have a promo from Mr. Lawson.
Yes. Now settle down. First of all, I want to issue a congratulations on behalf of all of MNW, Victor Vicious, with one of the most iconic victories in the history of this company. And what a show everyone put down at Breakdown 7. Now, that brings me to an important piece of housekeeping. It seems there are some tensions that are very hot here tonight, and so we are going to let some people take out their frustrations. First of all, Mr. Thunderbolt, I understand that you're very frustrated. You believe that Lord V should not have been allowed back in the ring when he attacked the Creation. The Brass looked at the tape very carefully, and in fact, he technically was not eliminated. He void walked, and while that's a technicality, and I understand that that's not what you want to hear, I will rectify the situation by doing this. Here tonight, you will go one-on-one with Lord V, and you can deal with him personally. Now, that brings me to another person that was very upset about Lord V's re-inclusion, and that brings me to you, Beast Mom. Naja appears to have a lot of thoughts about a lot of things concerning me. Number one of which seems to be, she thinks I don't give female competitors an opportunity. And seeing as how Victor doesn't seem to want to fight Spike, I thought up a wonderful idea for Naja and the rest of her friends to put their money where their mouth is. Here's what I'll do for you, Naja. Our main event tonight is going to be an 8-woman showcase match, and the winner of that contest will be the first #1 contender to get their shot at Victor Vicious. All women, all opportunities, and no more of your whining. And yes, Naja, you're in the match. The only problem is, now you have to actually win it. Have a great night.
A main event flashbang showcase featuring the featuring our women talent, and the winner gets a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship as its first challenger. You know, they say a lot of people. They say a champion's only as good as their first defense. Yes, you can win a championship any day of the week, but it's defending it for the first time. That is what settles it. That is what settles in. That is what pretty much shows what kind of champion that you will be. And I had a couple of names that I was going to... I mean, me personally, I had a couple of names I was going to throw into the hat. But we will get to that when we get to it. But for now, let us get to another match. Vaporwave versus the Princedom. Vaporwave coming off of their loss at Breakdown 7. And the Princedom with the Canid, with the aristocratic Canid coming off of his loss as well to the Brawl Kaiser. Here we see Sir Percival giving the crowd a nice little wave. And Sir Reginald, the dapper prince himself, the dapper lord himself. Ah, look at that. They're so cute together. With the aristocratic Canid, one of the classiest individuals. Although we haven't really seen much of Scotty Stevens. It's just kind of odd. I'm not going to lie. I kind of miss him in a weird, sadistic, actually more like a masochistic kind of way. I mean, okay, he cuts a good promo, and he does fantastic in the ring. I will say that. And just Apollo coming out the gate against Sir Reginald. No, it's Sir Percival. Rico going up against Reginald, and the Canaan going up against Aguilong. Ah, just beautiful moonsault. Beautiful moonsault. Rico showing off that power of his. My God. And then we have Canaan and Sir Percival going tagged, double teaming against Apollo Hades there. Trying to bury that light. Wow, that's terrible coming out of my mouth. Yeah. I miss Robbie. I'll say that. I miss him too. He definitely adds more pizzazz. Ooh, that full Nelson buster from Apollo, square in the middle of the ring, and that drop kick from Canid. With Spectre Sonata unfortunately losing against Doom at Breakdown 7, we do have to figure out which trio is going to take the belts off of Doom. And I could actually see a case for all three, for both of these teams here. You got Apollo Heat. Sorry, you got Vaporwave who are... oh, God, I lost my train of thought there. I am blanking. I do apologize for my flubbing words. We have Vaporwave, definitely one of the more cohesive units in Flashbang, and the Princedom, who... they're still a relatively new team, but they are definitely hitting their stride, especially against Percival's match against Brawl Kaiser. Yes, that was a singles match, but it wasn't until Canid interrupted that Percival seemed to find that second win, that drive to succeed. Maybe it was because of that good old-fashioned friendship, I believe in you stuff, or whether it was because that was all the time that Percival needed to continue on. But either way, here we got some changing of dance partners here. I have to check something really quick. Okie dokie. So, and we have Apollo Heat right here, and going right. Ah, superplex to the outside. I'm surprised that Reginald still has a back left. Well, especially after that freaking drop that he did right afterwards. And then we got Percival just standing on. Ooh, right onto the gut. Percy's just busting him with his own knee. As we see Rico and Canid going at it. And then going up. Powerbomb! God, that looked like that had some freaking heft to it. Right hands. Full Nelson applied. Where is Canid gonna tap out? Reginald with the save. Sorry, Percival with the save. My bad. They both have Sir in the name. That's still a beautiful drop kick. Then we got Reggie looking like he's going to try something big onto Rico, but gets countered into a fireman's carry. Drop kick once again. Percival going for that middle rope uppercut. Princedom standing strong against Vaporwave at this current moment. Just chopping right at the spines. Single leg dropkick. Picking him up right back up. And spinning DDT. Ugh. That's a nice fisherman suplex. So I wouldn't be surprised if Reggie, if Percival there was a fan of British wrestling. Although Aqua Lung being one of the finalists in the monster match, I believe he was in the final 3. Ooh, that brain buster. Then we have at one point we had Vaporwave just circling, going for the pin on to Kaned. Not Percival. I'm doing it again. Reginald saving Kaned this time. And then that TKO right onto Kaned from Rico. Oh, right here. Nice stand in that top rope pedigree. Back to back. Purple Percival. You know what? That's actually easy to... that's actually very easy. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Apollo getting out of that headset, that neck trap to leg lock, single leg drop kick. Kana taking advantage immediately with an opponent behind him. And then back, knees to the back. Aqualon's still standing strong. Picking up Reginald, breaking up a pin. Thank God. See, not a lot of people talk about how quick Aqualon is and how quick to react he is. See, although that guy, you think that would that come with being a ninja? I don't know much about ninjas. I'm more of a talking to people kind of guy, not much of a national backgrounds would definitely be included in that. Man, I'm stinking. I'm kidding. And here we have Reginald coming right back out the gate, trying to give the Princedom their second win, but gets busted open for his efforts. Rico whipped right into the turnbuckle there. Nice little arm drag. Ooh, drop toe hold, busted open. Drop toe hold, one of the more deadlier moves in the Nexus. And then a pedigree right onto the middle of the mat. Aguilong immediately comes in to break up the pin. There's that quickness once again, right with that Enziguri. Is it an Enziguri? I can't remember. Powerbomb pin. Rico as well. Very quick, very agile. Smacking Percival with his leg as Rico. Ugh. Sorry, I had something in the back of my throat. Oh, that big boot, though. Oh, my God. And Rico setting up for that full Nelson. Nice kip up from Apollo, styling on Reginald. And Percival taps out. Passes out. Correction. And your winners, ladies and gentlemen, are Vaporwave. Definitely a team to look out for when it comes to those trios titles. Hell, even the tag team titles. I mean, a lot of people like to look at Vaporwave and think, it's Apollo and his two cronies, blah, blah, blah. Something about hotter than you. They are definitely one of the... I mean, I'll say it. I say that they have a shot for the trios titles. Get enough momentum under them, and they could definitely make a bid for it. And Kaned and the Princedom, though, definitely need to find that stride once more until I believe that they're ready. I don't know. Although I believe with Reginald and Percival, they definitely are a cohesive unit, but they definitely need to find that chemistry with Kaned. But that comes with practice and also with some more matches. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we cut back in the ring to the best boy, the Sentai hero, your interdimensional champion, Brawl Kaiser.
Hi! Yeah, so, who saw Breakdown 7 here? Am I right? What a show! It was ridiculous. But, I'll admit, it didn't exactly give me what I thought I wanted. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Kanan, I guess. It's just, I guess I want... You know, I thought there'd be more invasions or something when I took over. So, you know, I feel like I'm not really having to do my job as champion. So, yeah, is this? Oh, it is working. Okay, great. So I guess what I'm gonna say is what do I want to say? Boy, this is, I'm issuing an open challenge. Yeah, for next week. Go, Bro Kaiser.
An open challenge from the interdimensional champion. And I don't know, like, I was watching that feeling all kinds of, oh no, I was upset for him. Like, he wants to be the defender of the multiverse. And I mean, he was definitely, I mean, I wouldn't say he was not satisfied going up against Kanan. Those two put on a clinic. They put on a classic match. But going from what Wiley and the Citra King had to deal with to not really having a whole lot of challengers go up against him, especially like from the wider multiverse themselves. Because I believe he's mainly faced... See, I know he faced Diamond Dallas Page. I would have to consult our records to see who else it was outside of MNW. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm just imagining this now. Like, what about Lady... what if Lady Dimitrescu comes back and tries to fight Brawl Kaiser? You pretty much got that irradiating mature energy in Lady Dimitrescu and the best boy Brawl Kaiser. I think the ring would implode at that. Just like those conflicting mindsets. Anywho, so we will definitely... I'm curious to see who's going to take him up on that challenge. It could literally be anyone. Not only on Flashbang, Warzone as well as just like the wider multiverse as a whole. Hell, a Ninja Turtle could fucking show up and I would still be okay with it. I would still be hyped for it. Although, I think he would try and befriend Michelangelo.
Yes.
Probably, yeah, most definitely. Anyway, so... earlier in the night, we were told by Mr. Lawson that Thunderbolt was going up against Lord V because of the shenanigans during the Monster Mash, and is Void what? I mean, I'm not gonna... Technically speaking, his feet did not touch the ground, as per the rules. But, do you think that the brass is gonna kind of keep an eye on it just in case this ever happens again for next year's Monster Mash, or like the next Battle Royale that V is in? Because that could be a detriment to not detriment. That could be a bit broken, as the gamers would say. Especially because like he could just do it whenever. Void Splash caught right into the knees by Thunderbolt. Something. What was it? Wasn't that chat keeps saying? It's like the Dr. Science in his soul. Something Thunderbolt. I'm getting all kinds of messages. And mostly from a colleague of mine, Mr. Cody. He is Mr. Cody Cully. He is another interviewer here behind the scenes. But he's a bit more abrasive, but you know what? He's got a good heart. He's got a good ear for to get those follow-up questions. Speaking of follow-up, bam! Right, look at that suplex coming from Lord V, setting up for that Void Slam once again. And we had a little Void Splash doesn't get all of it, but he's trying for it one more time. Thunderbolt and misses.
V might have caught him with the legs and then slams.
Man, V was on a freaking tear this entire match, and we seem to have some technical issues with the video, with the replay video. There's the Void Splash, hitting him, getting him once again. Not once again. He hit the first time. That was the third time he's tried that. Oof. Nasty slam. 1, 2. Kicks out at 2. Thunderbolt definitely one of the more tougher submission users that we have here on Flashbang.
Side headlock. Trying to twist him.
Definitely twisting at that neck, busting it, trying to get set up for his money or your life crossface. And then stand and deliver whilst I produce my ravier. Wait, no. Stand and deliver. Or the devil, he will take ya. That's the song. That's the lyric. I remember freaking Whiskey in the Jar. Crossed into the counter the Irish Rip right into the corner there, setting up for something big. Elbow and then a knee straight to the head. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still weirded out that V replicated my voice. That was still a concerning. Like, I hear my voice all the time. Oh, that void slam. 1, 2, 3. No, kicks out at 2. Like, I hear my voice all the time, but it's still weird when it's like thrown back at you. Stand up and deliver. Close to the ring, but Cleaver gets in the way. I'm actually kind of surprised that Lord V and Cleaver are still a tag team after the Empire dissolved. I guess they know that they were, I mean, they went to the grand, like, I believe they went to the semifinals. I believe it was the semifinals of the Duas Pope Memorial tag team tournament. And, I mean, they are a very effective tag team. Not as effective as Sandman and Thunderbolt, the Time Bandits, because I believe they, that they beat them to get to the finals. It's been a long day, ladies and gentlemen, and I can't remember everything off the top of my head. I don't have my records near me. So. Tossing Lord V right back into the ring here. See, I actually would like to see, it's like, this is just a pure fantasy booking standpoint. I would love to see, like, Thunderbolt go up against Broadkaiser. Uh-oh. Ooh, sit-out tombstone, his odes to his former boss. Setting up top rope. And Void Slam, second. Will this one be the one that does it in? 1, 2. Nope. Fourth attempt. Second one. Second time that it hit. Fourth time's the try, but he's going for. What could he be setting up for? And another Void Slam. 1, 2, 3. Your winner, Lord V. Definitely another person to look out for when it comes to, not only like the World Heavyweight or the interdimensional title, but him and Cleaver, still a very effective tag team. Definitely go for the, definitely going for the tag team championships. I would definitely love to see that. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so one of the bigger mysteries that came out of Breakdown 7 was who attacked El Toro Azul. And here we have El Toro being led to the ring by his fellow members of AAA, El Pollo de la Muerte and Demolition Fox. The mysterious attacker revealed to be Talos Sid, being led by the Cyber Controller and Cool J Kyo. Look at this thing! My God, he's big! Just lifting up El Toro with ease. My God! Like, is this another member of the Cyberbots? Or is this like a, you scratch my back, I scratch yours? Yeah, huge! Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, I had to take a drink. And I don't have Robbie to bounce off of. But even though he got jumped, El Toro's definitely showing he is no slouch whatsoever. I mean, you don't get to be that big without being tough as well. Just trying to go at that neck. And on social media, somewhere Zacho Duo is saying, "That's a huge bitch!" Yeah, he big. He big. He powerful. He built Tonka tough. Look at that. Look at that guy. And I believe it was Rabbit who who like, as he was walking down to the entrances, he's like a robot that can control or guard time itself. Looks like we got a pin attempt and kicks out at 1. It's definitely, like, Talos is definitely showing that he is not as, like, yeah, I did that attack. Oh, the running of the bulls. God, it always amazes me how quickly El Toro does that. But apparently too quick enough because he's a little gassed right now. Perhaps lifting such a large individual is taxing, which I don't blame him. I mean, look at the guy. Still wrenching at that neck. Smack, kick, smack again. Irish whip right into the corner. And that's where I cut it, apparently. And then we got Talos Irish whipping El Toro into the corner, sending him right into the ring post. God, that's hard steel onto your shoulder. That is, oh God, that is not fun. Lifting him and walking El Toro with ease, smacking him onto the knee, picking him right back up. Like, he's doing this well, I would say no-brainer, but he got gassed there for a moment. He probably underestimated how tough. He probably underestimated El Toro, especially after that ambush. And much like Eric Generickson there said, El Pollo's calm as a cucumber, as Demo is just screaming something or other in Japanese. And I mean, it just shows how like, El Pollo is definitely is a very passionate individual, but coming down to it, he is definitely a calculated one as well. He's definitely assessing what Talos Sid is all about. Oof. Sat him right down. 1, 2, 3. Your winner, Talos Sid. Ugh. Coming off strong, and as well as being one of, I believe it's only him and one other individual who are technically undefeated. Because it's him and Satirus Basilicus. Or is it Lapras Minotauros? Ah, crap. I can't remember which brother's which. It's been a hot minute since we've seen either one, actually. I believe since before Breakdown 7. I think Sky Stevens was facing him? Man, I gotta relook at the frickin' record books. And not just look at wrestling videos on Twitter. Any hoozles. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we hear from the masochistic sadist, or is it the sadist or the sadistic masochist? The homicidal, suicidal Gemini.
Oh, it was only a matter of time.
Oh, not only did I get to put the werewolf and the Viking in their place, but I got to accomplish my one and only goal. Mizuki, how nice of you to tweet out on social media. I've missed you. Give Nero all of my love when you see him. Apex, I told you what would happen. All of you were distracted, some on the cartel, some on me, some on your little home in the middle of the swamp. But none of you were focused on what needed to be focused on, and for once, Nero was left alone. While Johan and Blythe chased me around from pillar to post and all the way through the backstage arena as Zephyr was thrown over this top rope, as Crimson and the Ape were super kicked in the face, so too were the hopes of Apex. And thus my vengeance is nearly complete, for there is only one more step. Oh, Nero. Now that I've taken everything away from you, you have no excuse not to come find me. Yes, I know the Honor Bound is watching and they're waiting. DeLuna, if it gives you any sense of pleasure or relief, I don't care about you or your family or their lineage. You were simply a distraction. And it worked in the end. We should all be celebrating. It's a joyous occasion. 484 days of suffering, of despair. And now, we're all free. Free to once again have our multiverse back from the tyrannical hand of the Lizard King. And while I might not love Victor Vicious, anything is better than a snake. See you all later.
Suicide Gemini making his bid to go up against Nero Napier, taking all the credit for his loss to Victor Vicious. With what Johan mentioned afterwards was, everyone, I believe everyone got played, and I have to kind of give Gemini all the I kind of do have to give it to him too. Not only did he sending the Outlaws out to the Apex's compound, making sure that everyone was in place. That he is a mad genius. I have to say it. He's a mad fucking genius. But whether or not Nero will take him up on that offer is for him and the Brass and Lawson to decide come tomorrow or future flashbangs. But earlier in the night, we had a challenge. Spike laid down the challenge for Burden to face up against Nitzig Gunk Gabla, the Blood Bowl player. I need to turn this up, apparently. Just look at Burden. Just an absolute monster whose reputation... the second guy in the entire multiverse who you should not meet outside the ring. And then his opponent, Nitzig Gunk Gobla, the Blood Bowl blocker, the muscle of the cartel. This is a horse fight. Of just going in for that police club out the gate, but Burden just says no to that. Picks him up, catches him, suplex. Just again, these bigger guys just can lift each other with ease. I wouldn't be surprised if they're bench pressing each other in the back for practice or something. Or in the case of Burden, he's not bench pressing tombstones or something. I don't know how voodoo works. There's a lot I don't know. Sorry, just got a message about something completely unrelated. What the fucking... Okay, who keeps freaking showing off my background like that? Come on, man. Stop that. Anyway, stomping on Nitzig.
Oh, man.
Going in for that freaking nerve pinch. Oh, God. I've actually had this done to me by freaking Marty the intern. He was very curious. He's like, hey, can I do this? I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. It freaking hurts, dude. Like, your entire left shoulder just shuts... Like, your entire shoulder just shuts down. I could not move my arm for, like, an hour or two. I'm surprised Burton actually... Not Burton. Nitzig got out of that as best he could. It only shows his resilience. It kicks out. Burton just kicks out right at one. Knee strike. But just trading blows back to back. Just picking him up, dropping him down. One kicks out at one himself.
Get himself up onto the feet.
Yeah. Fake out with the clothesline. I'm curious to see like how Nitzig and Hutch will do against Mad Roll, since Hutch seemed to lay out the promo. Oh God, booty bump. And doing a little dance. Do you think he was taunting Madness when he was doing that? I would like to think so.
Oh, the old meat tenderizer.
Because that sounds like something Madness would love to do.
Into the corner we go.
And then,
oh, what a clothesline!
Hell of a clothesline.
Looked like a husband. It also looked like that Burton made it ducked it.
And a face buster to
Oof.
Burton.
Nice face buster though. Yeah, sweet.
And now Burton the reversal, staggering Nitzig. These two are massive.
Irish whip him right
Don't
into
have
the
to be able to
corner.
tell you who has the size of the strength advantage, but these two seem very evenly
And
matched.
then
Out here.
battle scars. I missed that move. I missed seeing that move. Setting up
And he's got him up.
and bouncing him off the ropes. See, I figured he was gonna go for like that falling star power bomb that he typically does right afterwards. But Burton before the monster match, we haven't seen Burton. The last time we saw Burton was, I think, Multivania. Oh God, just tossing him right into the ropes, getting caught up in that.
That was a Jesus take the wheel moment.
Yep. And
Yeet!
now
Just
Nitzig.
chucking him right into the friggin' turnbuckle.
Go with that pin. One. Up.
And now kick out.
He's
Kicked right out at one.
there.
Like, these two guys were just freaking, like, just trading it back. Like, not only trading pins, but just trading these big, heavy moves back and forth.
Grabbing
So we got to see Burton loving those suplexes. And now we see Nitzig kind of posing for the crowd.
Trying to grab Burton's hair.
Victor cheering him on.
Go.
Big clothesline. Followed by another. And then power slam.
Power slam by Burton, or onto Burton rather. And oh, he drops the booty.
Dropping that ass right onto Burton's chest. Going for a pin. 1, 2. And he's surprised by that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If a normal person got sat on by freaking Nitzig, done, dead. Like, your freaking chest is not gonna be allowed to breathe anymore, let alone to kick out. Ooh, that one-handed spine buster though. I think I saw the freaking apron kind of bellow out for a little bit there. Oh no. Nitzig rolled out of the ring. Burton's warning him. And now he's following. Yep. This is what you never do, ladies and gentlemen. Only the daring, the brave, and possibly the foolish meet Burton outside the ring. He is somehow more lethal outside the ring than in, which is kind of scary because he's a fucking killer in the ring. Burton throwing him right back in.
Release of death as Burton mercifully throws him back in.
And what's he doing? Up, crawling on back in. Just want to go in that way.
And now Nitzig.
Nitzig's in trouble.
Looks like he's trying to set him up.
Up.
He's got him up.
Going in for the falling star. Powerbomb. 1, 2, 3.
Got him.
Your winner, big, bad Burden of the Bone Warriors. God, he is a terrifying, terrifying individual, and I do not envy the person who goes up against him next, because after they lost the titles, the Bone Warriors definitely have something to prove. Yes, Spike has that shot against the World Heavyweight Champion, but we don't know when that shot's ever gonna happen. Hopefully soon. Hopefully it's gonna be probably at like the next pay-per-view. See her we have on social media in a world full of scary mofos. Yeah, no, most definitely. Burden is definitely one of the scariest. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the main event. The all-women's showcase match. Starting off, we have Alexis Edmonton in her full-on Metro, in her full-on Dread armor. Next is Tigiri of the Troll Train. Someone who we haven't seen too terribly much of. Earlier in the night, Johan mentioned about her and Tiki going after the tag titles. But here we see her trying to make a bid for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's still nice to see her. And another person we haven't seen too terribly much of is Slamfibian. Froggy's mom has got it going on. Speaking about freaking people we have not seen a lot of, Moira Draco, Mama Dragon herself of D&D. And we have TK of Spectre Sonata being led, just gliding to the ring. Coming in 7th, I believe this was 6th. The Queen herself, Mizuki Napier of Apex. Just basking in the glory. Number 7, we have Naja, the Beast Mom, the one who propagated this match. And she is freaking ready. At 8, I was surprised that Kuso was the 8th entrant. I thought that was going to be for Kathjina because Kuso is already the tag team champion. But you know what? I think the moment Kuso came in, just about everyone in this match just... they had those glaring red eyes, like, out of freaking nowhere. Although I think Moira actually had those eyes. I mean, a chance to pin a champion of MNW in general is an honor. And it makes you the one that they need to look out for. But if you win as a champion and you go on to become that famed double belt holder, and then we see a Naja doing a roll up on Tigiri, reigniting that old match from Breakdown 5. And then Moira Kuso at the bottom left corner. We got Slamfibian and Alexis in the middle of the ring. TK and Mizuki. TK definitely becoming a bit more daring. Is definitely daring going after Mizuki here. Moira and Kuso. Moira's got a pin. Kicks right out. Yeah, Naja throwing in Tigiri right into the middle of the ring, but gets the foot to the face. And then we see Moira giving a spine buster onto Kuso near the apron. Legs is heading there. 1, 2, 3. Kuso has been eliminated. And on the bottom right corner, I affectionately call that a mosh pit. Because, well, you're about to see here in a moment, because it's about to get crazy. Because we got Mizuki, Naja, and Tigiri facing off. We got TK going up against, I believe that is Moira. Yep, that is Moira. And all within succession of each other, trading back counters and blows. And there's these quick thought moves just coming in right at the slimmest thought. That's the slimmest thought. Like the slimmest aspect. Naja freaking breaking out that submission on Tigiri. And then we have Brainbuster on the slam. Double dropkick onto Mizuki. TK and Moira still going at it right there on the right. Super kick straight to Mizuki. Beast bomb onto Alexis, but gets kicked. I actually don't think that was a beast bomb. Now I'm not thinking about it. Oh yes, Mizuki got Stargazer roundhouse kicked. Definitely one of the worst feared kicks in the entire Nexus. And then another brain buster onto Slamphibian from Alexis. Going in for that cover. 1, 2. Kicks out. Right at 2. Oh, and Taigiri takes out legs. That's like the second time that she's accidentally kicked him in the face. Man, Legs needs to like get out of the line of fire when it comes to these showcases. He always freaking just gets knocked back down. Thankfully he's immortal though. Ooh, going in for that neck breaker, but that knee strike to Mizuki's jaw though. Oh. And we got Slamphibian just kind of watching the chaos happen as Moira gets slammed on. I can't remember what that move's name is. I need that freaking move sheet. Then we got Mizuki getting tied up around the legs, and then we got Alexis getting busted open. Oh, Moira getting pinned, but kicks out immediately. Oh, that pounce in the freaking furious Luthez that Naja does. Coil onto Taigiri, but gets broken out. And then looks like TK's got another pin attempt onto Moira Draco. Let's see if she gets it. Legs, come on. 1, 2, and kicks out at 2. Dragon Mom is not one to mess with. But a beautiful Hurricane Rana from the Slamphibian onto Mizuki, though. Powerbomb right onto Moira. Is this the attempt that puts away the Dragon Mom? 1, 2, 3. Good night, Mama Draco. And then we got Slamphibian going back up against Alexis Edmonton. And then a nice code red for her troubles. TK and Taigiri. That's not going to be confusing whatsoever. Oh, pin attempt. And Slamphibian puts away Alexis Edmonton. Another Hurricane Rana onto Naja. TK going up against Taigiri. And I believe Mizuki, yep, there she is. Right in the bottom, the top left. Hey. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We have another one of our interns just kind of wanting to use the bathroom. That's right next to my office. Anyway. So here we got Slamphibian going up against Mizuki. Naja taking a bit of a rest. A much-deserved rest, especially after the freaking after everything that she's been throwing. Oh my god. Perhaps we could ask Nice Eyes to donate some Stalinium. Oh man, that's for everybody. And then Beast Bomb onto Slamphibian. Going in for that cover. 1, 2, kicks out right at 2. Froggy's mom is not one to mess with, but that missed drop kick though, that would have been lethal. Taigiri back in the ring with TK. We got Mizuki resting on the outside. TK with the counter. Irish whip into the corner. Ooh, going in for that knee strike, but it gets countered with her own knees. Taken down right in the middle of the ring. Ooh, right there. Slamphibian and Naja both trying to go for big crossbodies, but both collide. We got TK running the ropes. And then a Luthez press from the Amazon. We got Amazon. Speaking of which, she's in this ring. She's resting. We have Slamphibian resting. Mizuki and Naja. Haven't seen these two face. Yeah, we haven't really seen that face except for the last Multivania. And I believe Naja came out with the win on that one. Like forearm. She's on the ropes. Mizuki counters. And then clothesline for her efforts. Naja trying to kind of get a gauge of the area, seeing who's coming in. But Mizuki takes advantage of the opportunity. Yep, there's TK right there in the top. And then Coil onto Naja. Oh, and then Stargazer as freaking TK was looking. God, that's one of the more dangerous aspects of the Amazon Tigeri, is the fact that she could just bring out that Stargazer out of nowhere. Beast Bomb with that Spanish fly from TK to Goodnight Slamphibian, and that pin cover still going on onto Tigeri. 1, 2, Goodnight, Amazon. Better luck next time. And then we got TK and Naja, student and mentor. Spanish fly right onto Naja. Going in for that cover. 1, 2, kicks out at 2. Man, you gotta think that Naja is nothing but proud for TK right here, because TK was freaking lively. Was that a pun? Brad, was that a pun? Yes. Crap. And then that quarantine onto Naja. Will Naja tap? We got TK coming in, just breaking it up immediately, saving her mentor. Which I think TK realized early on that if Mizuki, like, out of the 3 ladies, Mizuki definitely was the bigger threat here. If her and Naja could take out Mizuki, that would make their jobs a lot easier, just trying to take out each other. But Mizuki is not only, she's the queen for a reason. She's not, she is definitely the smartest out of everybody in Apex. She is their strategist. She's got those CQ, those military-esque CQC moves. 2, kicks out right at 2, does TK. We got Naja taking advantage of Mizuki not looking around. And then Beast Bomb coming in. 1, 2, kicks out right at 2. She's as tough as Nero. Like when you compare Mizuki and Nero, a super kick into this freaking straitjacket suplex. My God. See, and here we see TK and Naja tag teaming onto Mizuki. 1, 2, kicks out right at 2. Yeah. Apparently we got word from Sage the Omni Geek, the most cunning, yes, most intelligent. Would be give that to Ravalos. I will agree with you on that front. But then we got a brainbuster from TK coming in the middle of the ring. Naja Mizuki in the middle of the ring. Titan Oboa. 1, 2. Good night, Naja. Unfortunately, tonight is not your night. Even though the last time we had a lady showcase, a all-women's showcase, Naja was the one who came out strong on that one. But goes right onto the outside, catching TK in the coil. TK taps out. Your winner and your new #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship is Mizuki Napier of Apex. You know, out of everybody in that showcase, I can wholeheartedly say that there were 2 picks out of that entire match that would have been the perfect first defense for Victor Vicious. The first was Naja. A proponent. She is someone who definitely pushes hard for the women to get a bit more showcase, a bit more spotlight. Whereas, and then as well as she had a 2-parter call out, which I'm not gonna lie, I should have condensed that down to 1 and keep things simple. But she pretty much stating why she was at the top of Roll Initiative Wrestling's promotion. And then you had the Queen, Mizuki Napier. Fresh off of her husband's loss to Victor Vicious. As Sage the Omni Geek has said, she is the most cunning out of everybody in Apex. I mean, she's as strong, as tactful as Nero, but she has this weird, precise yet brutal strikes akin to a freaking sniper. She is one of the more deadly competitors. And honestly, she deserves this shot at Victor's title. But as we wind down on Flashbang, we have our moment of the week.
And introducing his opponent, being accompanied in the ring by the Cyberbots, weighing in at 515 pounds, Talos Sid! Oh boy!
What kind of freaking universe is he from?
What the? Talos Sid?
He looks like one of those robots that guards time.
That is a big, big boy. He might be bigger than Cyber Controller.
That's ridiculous.
That thing, it is
He's
massive.
a robot?
I assume if it's...
He looks like one of those freaking things from, like, Mechanus that kills the absolute bejesus out of you.
Yeah, it sure does. Oh! Oh, good! Oh, good, as if we didn't have enough budget problems.
I don't think it's like Bidoof, though. I think this is actual what's supposed to...
And, ladies and gentlemen, that was our Flashbang moment of the week. We don't get a lot of first-time entrants much anymore 2 years into Friday Night Flashbang. But when we do, oh man, you know that's going to be a big, big moment, especially one with the chilling aura that Talos Sid had. The chat was blowing up with just in awe of that individual, and everybody in the arena was like barely a peep out. Oh man, I cannot wait to see what Talos has to offer in the future. But, ladies and gentlemen, that ends our flashbang portion of the show. For now, and then now we have an old classic for Firing Line. Ladies and gentlemen, The Call Out with Travis.
Good evening, everybody. It's Travis from The Call Out. And tonight I have my very first guest from Flashbang. And, oh boy, what a guest I have! He climbed the entire gauntlet of the heavyweight title scene. He's leader of the cartel and is now the current Flashbang World Heavyweight Champion. I speak, of course, the mob boss, Victor Vicious. Hello there, Mr. Vicious. How are you today, sir, lord, champ? Victor, what do you want to go by now?
Don't be so formal now. It's all the above.
I'll make sure to note that. All right, I'll make sure to note that. The cartel sure seemed to have a really good night at Breakdown 7. Did you and your boys have a chance to celebrate not only their win, but your own win?
Celebration? Yes, we did. It was a big night for the cartel. Hutch Kale and the Gunk Gobbler won their match, and I won mine. And they showed their honesty and loyalty to me by beating up the Mad World if they tried to come down to that ring. So yes, it was top shelf all night long.
Previous to the title shot, the cartel have been dealing with the Mad World and their shenanigans. With Hutch Kale being married to Kuso Kale, the current tag team champion and the partner of the Madness, will this interfere with your work against the tag team champions, the Mad World?
No, I don't think this will affect anything at all, because Hutch Kale knows work comes first. And his wife has already been put on notice multiple times. If she ever wants to come at the king, which she tried, that poor 8-man match. She tried, but no, the Mad World are not going to be a problem anymore.
Getting back to you, there has been some talk of your ascent to the throne, saying although you got the pin with a beautiful arrivederci, the lead up to it was a dirty family business, so to speak. Some on the roster have made you a pretty high target. What are your response to these accusations and the bounties that have been placed upon your head, being the world champion, of course?
Bounty? Look, I've had a bounty on my head for as long as I can remember, because when you're the best, you have everybody coming after you. And this belt right here just shows everybody that I am the best. So if they want to come after me, if they want this belt, then of course I'm going to accept that there's going to be a target or two on my head. But let me ask you all this. Look how well it's turned out for Kuso Kale. Think about that before you try to come at the champ.
Mr. Vicious, do you have a personal target of your own? Who on the roster stands out for you right now?
Personal target of my own? Well, I haven't really thought about that, because since there's nobody really, truly worthy of this title except somebody from the cartel like Hutch Killer and the Gunk Gobbler. But to play devil's advocate here, if I had to choose somebody, I wouldn't mind putting Johan Mjoln in the last rites one more time and watching him tap out in 5 seconds flat. But he's got to earn his way to the top again. And Johan, I'm waiting.
Well, I think the gods are answering for you, but is there any closing statements you would like to give the Firing Line audience?
Ending statements for your audience? Yes, I have a few words to say to them. And that's this. I don't think you understand the position that you're in. You see, I could care less what all of you think about me, but I want you all to learn something right now. Like it or don't like it, you need to learn to love it. I am your heavyweight champion, and I'm the best thing going right now. So until you can find someone to take the belt off of me, you better just deal with it, because the cartel runs things now.
For a guy who's named Victor Vicious, he seemed pretty nice. I better not cross him, otherwise I might end up with a horse head in my vocal booth. So I'll just say this, if you want to see Victor Vicious, tune in on Friday nights for Friday Night Flashbang, run by Eric Generiksen. This has been The Call Out. My name is Travis, and have a good night.
And there you have it with The Call Out. Thank you, Travis, for interviewing the World Heavyweight Champion. And, that was a challenge that he just, not a challenge, that was a statement that he definitely said. Although, something that actually did kind of spark something there, actually. He kept, the bounty on him keep being mentioned by Kuso. Something just keeps it's funny, like, to trip in my mind right now. Especially when it comes to Tigeri's entrance into the showcase match. So, for those who do not know, Kuso Kale and Tigeri, the Amazon, have a long-standing rivalry across multiple promotions across the entire multiverse. And they keep trading wins back and forth. And they have nothing but banger matches. Oh my god, it's fantastic to see. But I think a theory of mine is saying that Tigeri only joined the number one contender showcase match for the World Heavyweight Championship, mostly to tell Kuso, hey, you may have been the first women's champion, but I'll be the first women's world champion. But either way, let us get to Warzone finally. Let's get to Warzone and put Flashbang in the books. Please check it out tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/Edward Bosco. But we start off Warzone with Aiden Zero taking on Flyboy Bell of the Three Kings. And this ongoing rivalry between High Voltage and the Three Kings. This match got spurned on because during a tag match between Wonderball, Leonid Sanchez, and the Bells, a Ginger Boy just like slid in a chair into the ring. Although, and then that set Aiden off something fierce. I mean, a couple weeks ago they had a verbal backlash back and forth, especially with Aiden on commentary just going absolutely nuts the next week. Flyboy definitely one of the best high flyers that we actually have. Just look at this. He can just do this in his sleep. I'm convinced Flyboy trains with those like arm and leg weights and just sprints. On social media, wonder if Aiden knows what a shark is by now. I hope so. There's a lot there's a lot of common knowledge that I hope Aiden has been briefed on. I mean, I asked him if he wanted to drink of water. He just looked at me like I was saying something foreign. We got Flyboy coming out with the neck breaker, that single leg drop kick. And we had Michael Montoya come back from his vacation. Bringing in Aiden towards the middle of the ring. And then going in for this arm breaker. Flyboy seems to be just, snapping people's arms left and right nowadays. I mean, new attitude, I guess, with the new moveset. Embracing more of the Rudo aspect of his Hispanic wrestling. You could say that he was embracing no fear at all in this match. Ooh, right, kick right to the gut as Aiden was trying to counter. Keep getting messages for some reason. Go away. We're doing a show. I gotta turn that off. I gotta figure out how to turn that off. I'm teaching Flyboy how to count right here in the corner.
The cushion doesn't do enough work.
Oh yeah, right under there's a little steel ringlet. I've seen them put the ring.
Oh god, that arm drag, that was beautiful. Another one of these another one of those Hurricane Ranas. Hurricane Ranas, I think that's what the movie's called. Knee strike, and another Hurricane Rana heels hitting right in the back. And then here we see Aiden trying to take control of the match, but Flyboy says no. Going in for more strikes. But, looked like Aiden was trying to pick him up for a power bomb, but Flyboy counters with his Hurricane Rana once again. Faking him out with the clothesline there. Both teams have been both Aiden and Flyboy have been showing off these new attitudes, these like more aggressive aspects to their how they approach a match nowadays. I mean, Flyboy and Strongman are doing that with their work with the Three Kings. Aiden, I guess, is feeling the burden of being the interim leader of High Voltage. Going to the Windows app, yeah. Here we have Flyboy taken to the skies. Elbow drop right onto Aiden to the outside. Crowd screaming, "This is awesome." Aiden recovering almost immediately. Neck breaker. But that's the thing about Aiden, though. Like, everyone talks about Austere targeting just the arms. No one talks about how effective Aiden is about targeting the neck. Just how he can twist it, bend it, break it. Fucking just destroy with that clothesline. But Flyboy not only quick on his feet, but quick-witted as well. Look at that DDT. Beautiful. Another neck breaker. Going in for the pin. One. Kicks out at one. You cannot keep a good lucha down. Trying to rip out the mask, though, of Flyboy. See, that's that aggressive thing. That's that aggressive streak that I was telling you about. Smashing him right back of the head first, right onto the apron. Not on the apron, onto the ring. Excuse me. Ooh, knee strike into a bulldog. Chicago special, I believe that's what they call it. Another fake out clothesline. Oh, rope caught on the... There he goes.
Well, just too bad he's not
Man, he is just throwing out those Hurricane Ranas like it's nothing. I mean, you don't call. He's not called Flyboy Bell for a reason. I mean, inheriting the name. Oh, that crossbody though from the middle rope. I mean, he's not called Flyboy for a reason. I mean, inheriting that from his own father, Flyboy Senior, or Flyboy. I can't remember how long the lineage goes. But one of the original Flyboy Bells from the Bell Dynasty. And then, that flipping Hurricane Rana, though. Going in for another arm breaker here, though. Just, oh, God. I mean, it's not just the arms that he's destroying. It's also, like, the shoulder blades that are pretty much at risk there. Kicking out right at 2. Looks like he's setting up for the Escalera. The Bell family special. No, it's the Frog Splash. Tribute to Eddie there. Or is it just a regular splash? I can't remember. There's a lot of moves in a wrestling. I can't remember them all, man. I barely remember to eat. This is falling apart at the seams, it seems. I'm kidding. Those mounted punches right into Flyboy's mask there. I think he actually is. I still think that he was actually trying to rip at it, like from the initial tear.
Elbows, fists.
Yes, Brad. What's up?
Colliding with it. There we go.
Yes. Yes, you're a good boy. Can't believe I gotta tell a grown man this. Oh, God. Planting the head right into the middle of the mat. And Flyboy with the arm drag, trying to get out of that neck breaker position. More strikes. And then the C kicks. C to the back of the head. Looks like he's going in for that pin again. 1, 2. Kicks out right at 2. And Flyboy's not sure what to do. Going up. This might be it. The Escal... Oh, La Estrella just gets blocked by the knees. Looks like it's time for 0 hour. 1, 2, 3. Your winner, Aiden 0 of High Voltage. Adding another win column to the High Voltage versus 3 Kings feud. With the Super Show coming close, next Saturday, we have Aiden 0 of a High Voltage going up against Ginger Boy of the 3 Kings. And my God, both men are not only just going to try and beat the living hell out of each other, but they're just so full of piss and vinegar that I think they're actually going to try and kill each other in the ring. Like, it is going to be a time. Speaking of a time, in the previous week, we had the Allfather Arkoff attack Power Surge. Looks like we finally recovered the footage from his attack. Now, it seems to be that Arkoff is only targeting those who have won showcase matches. Power Surge winning a few weeks prior. Citra King winning the one 2 weeks ago. And then, well, a lot of people are like, is he going to be attacking Enigma? And look at him just posing over his previous victim. And then from this last week, Brad and like just Enigma, winner of the previous showcase. Oh my God, he just laid it right onto the supply case there. Oh God, his back has to be on fire after that. Arkoff looking down at his latest victim. Oh my God. Like, good. You can't help but feel bad for the, like, I mean, I'm gonna say, I'm sending him flowers. I'm sending him flowers after this. This is, oh my God. Like, no one knows what the like what's with Arkoff nowadays. I mean, Power Surge, then Citric, then Nigma, and as our as a member of our graphics team has mentioned, on a positive note, it looks like Louis McDonald. We will get to that here in a moment, actually, because, ladies and gentlemen, your Warzone showcase coming to the ring is Buck Bumble, the Latino bee. He fly, he beast, he stings. And second, Istanbul, the Turkish oil wrestler. Coming in third, DJ Milsner, bringing the swag like nobody can. Coming in fourth of High Voltage, we have Leonid Sanchez, one of the young lions of High Voltage. Coming up next, we got Wilson Soda Will of VIP, checking himself out with his selfie stick, as he does. Next up, we got Sparrow of the Sentinels. Sparrow, one of the... I definitely would argue he's one of the better high fly. Like he's up there when it comes to high flyers. Right after that, we had Louis McDonald of Legion. Not a lot of people happy about him, but following right after, it's gotta be Kane at number 8. And then here we see Mass Chaos out the gate. Leonid taking on the biggest guy in the room, the Flyboy Daggerick approach to these kinds of matches. Got Wilson going up against Buck Bumble. Sparrow against Milsner. And obviously, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they would have started fighting each other out the gate immediately. We got Kane against Louis McDonald. According to social media, another popular phrase for Buck Bumble: he fly, he buzz, he sting. I prefer beast because it's just fun. It's just fun to say beast. He fly, he beast, he sting. Speaking about sting, look at that stinging upper, that freaking punch that he did. Oh, that flatliner right onto Wilson's face, though. That surgically prepared face. Milsner going in for a Boston Crab right onto Sparrow in the middle, on the outside. And Louis and Kane still going at it. Istanbul slamming Leonid right down onto the hard ground there. I believe it's still a mat of some sorts. Yeah, we got a bunch of people spread out like crazy here. See, this is one of the aspects of a of a showcase match that is just hard to follow yet always fun to see. It's like a train wreck. You just cannot take your eyes off of it. It's just when all 8 people are spread out, it's just the mass chaos. You don't know where to look at, but everywhere is some sort of hard-hitting brawl happening. I love it so much. Like, and the cool thing is, you can always come back to these matches and catch something that you never saw before. Like, originally, I didn't see freaking Istanbul get drop kicked and then a freaking elbow into the back of his head. Like, I didn't catch that at first time. I was freaking too busy paying attention to freaking Sparrow over there in the corner. Oh, a spine buster right onto Wilson from Istanbul. Going in for a pin. 1, 2. Wilson is the first to be eliminated from the Turkish oil wrestler Istanbul. And giving Kane a bit of a clap there. Bit of an applause. And then we have Louis McDonald, evolution onto Milsner. Cover on Milsner. 1, 2, 3. He is the second eliminated from this match. Got Buck and Kane. Istanbul trying to pin Sparrow. 1, 2, 3. That is 2 in a row for Istanbul.
Sparrow has been eliminated.
And there goes Sparrow.
Okay,
Yeah,
Istanbul has
like,
now eliminated both Wilson and Sparrow.
Master of some very slick moves. I get ya. Well, Robbie's not here, but the puns are still strong. Thank you, everybody. It's like he's with us right now. Hopefully he's getting rest. And then we got a curb stop from Louis onto Buck Bumble. Looks like Istanbul is resting on the ropes as Kane is resting outside the ring. The B going through some evolution. But Istanbul coming in and stealing the pin. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 eliminations for Istanbul.
Bumble has been eliminated.
And Evolution onto Kane.
I would not.
He was he was on top of it, trying to make sure Istanbul doesn't pick up another one of his.
3.
Kane has been eliminated.
Just got the pin on Kane.
So that is, I believe, 2 eliminations from Louis, 3 from Istanbul. Oh, just look at how
Hell of a showing.
2 legitimate eliminations.
that was a magnificent counter from Istanbul onto Louis McDonald. Louis McDonald, being the rap bastard of the multiverse, is cutting as well. I mean, he's definitely one of the more cutting people as well, but he knows when to lay on the brutality when needed. And here it comes. Evolution onto Istanbul.
It's the big question. Can Istanbul kick out?
Like on top of it, once again, going for a pin. 1, 2, 3. Louis McDonald is the winner of this showcase. And if the previous attacks are anything to say, then that means Arkoff might have a new target. And, well, yeah. Is anyone going to be upset? Like, legitimately, I'm kidding. There's going to be I'm sure Louis' family is going to be upset that he's about to get murdered. Or something like that. Yeah, enjoy your prize, Louis. See, that's another thing about these showcase matches lately that a lot of the talent has been very concerned of. Yeah, you want to win, but with the mission that the Allfather is going through right now, are you sure you want to win? Are you sure? I mean, a W is a W, but at what cost? Speaking about at what cost? Actually, no, that's not a good. That's not a good segue. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we have an in-ring promo from the French Daredevil, Laid. Higher rolled. Hashtag get laid.
Bonjour, Multiverse. It is I, Laid Highroad, your French-Canadian Daredevil. I come to the ring with very serious matters to discuss, but of course I must do this in as polite a manner as possible. One does not want to be rude. No foul language, no swearing. Swearing does not get you on television. I am a patient man. I've been in the multiverse many years. I have dealt with the association with a odd monstrosity that shares my name. I have dealt with many things, but lately I've been working very hard in the hardcore division. And so I have a request, a very, very civil, polite request. Dagoric, mon ami, I ask you to now give me a shot. I wish to attempt to win the Warpgate Hardcore Championship. I've tried many matches to get an opportunity. I admit I've come up a little short, but you've faced everyone else. I do believe it is my turn.
Well, all right. You want a shot? You want a shot at the hardcore title? Hey, is that what you want? Well, if you want that, you're gonna have to do me a favour and cut it out with all this namby-pamby polite shit. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Do you understand in your Canadian brain that you need to put down the kiddie gloves?
But mon ami, I would not wish to be disrespectful. You are a prince. You are a champion. You have suffered greatly at the hands of miscreants. And I understand you have many grudges that must be settled. How could I possibly be rude to you? I respect you.
It's not a matter of being rude. It's the matter of showing that you can do this. That you can take it to the hardcore champ. And I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. There's no problem in that. You want it, you got it. But I want to see the fire behind those eyes. I want to see the fire behind those glasses. Do you understand that?
Oh, trust me, the fire is there. I do not have to be boisterous or rude to have passion. I am, after all, French-Canadian. I live in Quebec. You have no idea what Quebec is like, I can tell. No. It's there. I can bring it as hard as anyone.
No, that... You're supposed to... Tug on my beard! Slap me in the face! Do something, come on! I want to see the rage behind it. I know you have to have some anger inside that. Come on, there's got to be something inside that polite, unnerving face of yours.
Oh, Dagger, you misunderstand. How could I be upset? I've already survived being in a faction with Frostman Jones. If I can handle that, trust me. Once you've done that, you can handle anything, mon ami. No, I don't have to lose my composure. I can still be.
All right, well, this is not normal. You're gonna need some reverse therapy. So I'll tell you what. During our match, I'm going to frustrate you. I'm going to try and pull something out of you. A side of you that we might not have seen, but, well, I'm going to do my best and do you that favor and make you into a hardcore competitor.
Oh, no. I am already a hardcore competitor. And as I said, sometimes the best answer is to keep calm in the face of adversity. He who can focus and strategize will win. So it is, interestingly, fire versus ice, no?
It's not calm. Being hardcore is not calm. It is nothing but adversity, and you must be a part of it. You must be a part of the fire, the flame, the explosion, in order to be in this division. And one way or another, I'm gonna get you to explode.
And here we have pretty much a battle of conflicting ideologies. The calm before the storm that is Lade Hyrule, and the explosive outright anger and fury that is your Warp Gate hardcore champion, the Daggerick. And especially because that's the quintessential mindset when it comes to the hardcore division, is just outright explosive anger, violence. And we got that at the Super Show. We're getting that at the Super Show next week. And I'm not gonna lie, that's gonna be one of my more anticipated matches out of that entire besides Zako and Asir, Lade Hyrule versus the Dagger is going to be just violence personified. And like Lade said, it's going to be fire versus ice. And through their fire and flames, we carry on to our next match. The Absolute Units, the Fortress, and Absolute Washington, with Jack Abbott following them. Going up against the Outlaws with Devin. And looks like everyone got the joke. Fantastic. So I kept this in because freaking looks like Daron and Devin were just having a shoving match. God, I miss Smosh Pits. And I mean, both of them are definitely trying to out cheeky the other. And here we have Absolute Washington going up against CGR Killer out the gates. I'm actually so surprised with how strong freaking Washington is carrying freaking CJR. I mean, CJR is not a light man whatsoever. Nice little leg DDT. I hear the Doctor of Albinomics screaming in the background. Well, screaming is relative. It's more like record scratching at a high pitch. He does that, you know. It still weirds me out. It really does. I can't have a conversation with the guy. It's always wiki whack or something like that. I don't know. I don't do hip hop. So here we got CGR attempting for a camel clutch onto Absolute Washington, but Absolute using his hair as leverage. Absolute Washington being the owner and proprietor of Absolute Hair Care Products. My wife definitely is a huge fan of what they do with her hair, especially with the extensions that she puts on. Hell, half the reason my beard is silky smooth. And we got Fortress laying in wait as Theron is tagged in. Looks like about this part, Absolute Washington found some time to breathe and is now tagging in the fortress, the accountant of the multiverse, and he's definitely saved more. He's saved more wrestlers' finances than I can actually count. I think I asked him to count for me. Oh, and that tag team collision with that tag team, like that, like without even thinking, CJR coming in and sending the fortress right onto the outside. Looks like that CJR was going to rough him up a bit on the outside, but fortress was too quick for that. Nice kick from the frickin' like from Forrest. God, those frickin' saying those thick ass legs is an understatement because my God, I do not want to be trapped. I don't want any of that coming near my head. Back elbow. See, look at that insecurity right to the back of the head. Looks like Theron's trying to get out so he can tag in CGR. We got a hoss fight. CGR forced the fortress, getting CGR shoving, getting shoved into the corner, right back into his own corner, tagging one of his best friends, Absolute Washington, and then kick to the dome.
There was nothing technical about that.
According to Sage, the Omni Geek, apparently Forrest doesn't mind those with secret identities and setting up proxies to help to protect them. See, Forrest is such a great guy. Not only looking out for the finances, but also like keeping identities a secret. Excuse me, and I did get a drink of water real quick. Looks like we got the Outlaws setting up for that one in the chamber to the back of Absolute Washington's spine. My God. Just how quickly Theron can actually bring that out. We got the Fortress being tagged in. And double axe handle right onto the arm. Going in for death and taxes. Theron quickly gets out of it. Gets out of that, knowing how lethal that move is. This looks like at one point we got Absolute Washington and CJR getting tagged in by the respective. And Spine Buster. Man, I have to know what frickin' Washington does to lift somebody like CJ. That is phenomenal. Oh, speaking about lifting, oh my God, CJ. Freaking could hear that air come out of Washington's lungs out of that one. Sage, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you for that one. Absolute professionalism. Okay, hey Forrest, if you're listening in on this, if that's not your your tagline, I don't know what is. And it looks like big boots right onto the Fortress, busting him open. 1, 2, 3, almost a 3, but Absolute Washington came right in and saved his partner. Oh, and looks like he's going in for another pin. 1, kicks out at 1. Fortress, knowing what was coming next. That big freaking kick from Forrest after tagging an Absolute Washington, and a big boot, a big kick of his own. Looks like Jack Abbott's trying to help out the Absolute units, and I guess that was enough of a distraction for Absolute Washington to get that counter off, but a headbutt you. Float over, just right onto the knee. CJR's brutality, especially after his promo a couple weeks ago, pretty much promising violence for free. Boot to the face. Going in for that cover. 1, 2, and kicks out at 2. God, this just shows how freaking brutal and lethal the Outlaws are. Sorry, got a message, or people keep freaking wanting to send me a message, but as I'm on air. Come on, guys, professionalism, please. And then Serpent's, I believe that was a Serpent's Kiss. Serpent's Kiss right onto the freaking in the Outlaws' corner. Absolute Washington feeling that leg drop, feeling the electricity of the crowd. And another spine buster. Going in for that cover. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Kicks right out of 2. Getting whipped right back into the Outlaws' corner. Tagging in the big boy. Tagging in CJ. Oh. And that knee strike Inseguri combination. Into that suplex. That bridge, though. 1, 2. Outlaws are your winners. I think after that failed attempt to that failed stress test on the Vince Smoke Sanji, they definitely have like that fire lit under them, interrupting the hardcore match between Dagrick and TJ the Mint Gable, prompting this match to even take place. I mean, they are giving out wholesale violence for free, and I am concerned. And it looks like we have an update from Jerry Aldini himself. It looks like that to accommodate for another promotions pay-per-view, we are going to be having Warzone start much earlier at 12:30 Pacific Standard Time at twitch.tv/Dr. Caliban. So that's 12:30 Pacific Standard Time, 3:30 Eastern, and for those who are in, I had to be asked this earlier. I believe that means it is 5 o'clock for Argentina time. I don't remember what the official name is. I don't think I've actually heard the official name. More to look on later. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, a promo from the storyteller.
Stay a while and listen. This is my story. Okay, janitor. I agree to your match. We will have the match you want. I warn you, though, this nostalgia. Remember, nostalgia means never going home. Nothing would ever be the same as before. I appreciate your changes. Your saying of cleanliness mixed to godliness. But in your case, it's not gloriousness. And yes, I know your purpose. You want to understand my story. And if you can understand how I'm written, I will, however, even if you will, it won't matter. It's too late. All you can do is prepare for what's to come. Prepare for the next chapter. We will have our match at the Super Show. And that will be the end of at least one story. And who knows? Who knows what will be written? Well, I'll let you in on the secret. I know. I always know. And with that, I'm about done with these parting words. Goodbye.
And there we have it. Next week at the Super Show, we have the janitor going up against the storyteller. And oh man, that, for those who have never seen that match, that's going to be a very, both men know the storyteller knows how to tell a story. Most definitely. The last time I think I've seen them face each other was when Storyteller was part of the Faces of Fear, back when that was a thing. And the janitor was leading his Republic. But for now, that's a next week. That's going to be next week. But for now, we have Nakano Kirishima, the delinquent, going up against the legend, the man, the myth, the legend,
the legend
Beowulf.
incarnate.
Definitely another match of the young lions facing each other, and my God, double axe handle right out the gate from Beowulf.
Getting knocked down by Beowulf.
I think Beowulf's getting more and more brutal as time goes on.
Oh, delivering
I think he would definitely make a bidding for the hardcore title.
Great height on that.
That's been the frustrating thing with Nakano is he does not lack in skills. He just hasn't had that right moment yet.
Beautiful suplex.
Skill and athleticism are there. He just needs to.
He's got
these
fucking,
wins in.
Beowulf's got like this huge chip on his shoulder.
Every
I'm hoping that
opportunity
like
you can to show yourself.
I really do
Multiverse.
hope that
Oh,
Beowulf's
punch
success
to the
does
gut
not
and a
get to
drop
his
kick,
head.
And now
He is
Nakano
such a
in
fantastic
control.
competitor, and the
Drop
main
kicks hitting
reason
like a
why competitors like him fail or like get a
Now, they
slope
have faced each
is
other before,
because
but it was
of
not
their ego,
one-on-one.
because they think they are all of that.
It
I
was
mean,
a,
when you can back it up with such a beautiful
team action for that
snap
feud
German like
between
that. Oh my
Beowulf
God.
and, Sergeant
That
Major
nerve pinch right onto
First you saw
Nagano's
that
shoulder.
Nagano go for the ropes there. It was countered by a German
Like, he was
suplex. Now
relentless in this
wrenching
entire
on the
match.
head. Kirishima.
Because, like, I don't think Beowulf knows
Goes
how to
for the
hold
first pin of the
anything
match,
back.
one, and
If I'm
only
being
one
completely
count.
honest. He just goes out 100%, like, firing on all cylinders every time. And Nagano was just flabbergasted at first, but he's definitely showing that I can do this. I can handle everything that you're dishing out and more. Those quick strikes, those powerful legs of
Coming on
his.
strong.
Very effective
But
with his feet. The kicks
as
and
quick as
strikes
Nagano
always hit their mark.
was thinking,
Good and up,
Beowulf was thinking about
but
as
right
quick,
now,
if
again,
not quicker.
Beowulf in control.
Going up, fireman's carry. Oh,
And
hard
there
fireman's
goes
carry slam.
Beowulf.
He's
And
feeling it, ladies and
interestingly,
gentlemen.
he's chanting in
He's
the
feeling this
Eternals
fight.
got it
He is
wrong, but,
enjoying this fight. Going in for that headlock, though.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
and wrenching
And looks
on
like
the neck
Nagano's trying to
of
break
the
out.
Olympic.
Yep.
Headlock in.
Immediately
And
turns it over to a
Kirishima,
headlock of his
ooh,
own. Some
turn to the
technical
favor.
wrestling for
Turn the favor, twist
everybody.
in the neck there.
But gets thrown out of the ring for
Trying to
his
wrench at the
troubles.
Thrown to the outside.
See, there's a lot of factors about
And,
Beowulf
elbow
that people
from
don't
the
really know too much about.
Legend incarnate.
Like,
and
is he...
return punch. Oh, they're just
Like, we
trading
see him in
blows.
so many matches that
Both men
you
show
think
some absolute skill
would
here over the
signify,
barricade.
like, what kind of wrestler is he? Hardcore.
Right hands being
Submission
delivered.
user. He's pretty much
At this point,
like, I
Kirishima,
think
you
what
want
makes
the
him
winner, just
what
wanna
makes
beat up
Beowulf good is because
I
he
think
is
both
that
of these
all
men just
arounder.
want to beat the crap out of each other.
And Kirishima, he's definitely like I want to see him.
there's still
Like
time to get
I
it
want
back
to
in the
see him
ring.
do a lot more.
I feel
wanna
like
see him-
somewhere behind the
I
scenes,
think Kirishima could definitely
both
be
Dagerick and Gingy are both smiling
pretty
and
much
nodding their
on
heads
par
watching
with
this go down.
All right, Kirishima
Beowulf.
bringing Beowulf back into the ring.
Like he, like because
And
mostly because
whipping
like
him into the
Beowulf has
corner.
had centuries of experience, centuries
What
of
is the delinquent
fighting,
planning here?
whereas Kirishima,
Going for
as far as I know, is still more.
into the corner. Ooh!
See, like
Well,
there's that quick
executed,
thinking I was
Nagano.
telling you
Oh,
about.
He's setting up for something.
Going
him
right into the
into
corner.
air
Looks
and
like
then
he's
a
got
kick to
something
the gut.
planned. Big
Oh,
knee
right,
strike.
hell of a kick.
Straight to the mask. One, two. Kicks out
close.
right at 2. See, Kirishima sees an
Oh,
opportunity and
showing
he does
his
not
skills here
waste
tonight.
a
So
moment.
close, Kirishima could have
It
tasted it.
this is the potential.
think he
This is
did.
the potential that I see. That
Oh,
everyone
who
sees
tasted
in
it.
him.
Oh, reversal.
Beowulf. Ooh!
Reversal
He
by
just,
Beowulf.
I just believe that he just
Yeah,
needs
he's
more
knowing that
experience.
He cannot take Kirishima lightly.
Getting
He's
locked
too
up
good a
in
competitor.
that figure 4
Getting him into
Boston
that-
Crab-like maneuver
Yeah, sharp this work. Oh no!
and a
Oh,
tap
no.
out.
What?
On
Was more
Beowulf
oh, I guess he was
is
too
your
hard at the
winner.
knees. Oh my!
Which is so unfortunate because
winner.
Nakano was doing such a good job too.
All right, another victory for the Myth Incarnate.
And Beowulf
Kirish-
feeling
oh,
his
look at
victory,
Kirishima.
but
He is
Kirishima
pissed. He thought he
is
finally had
not
that
a happy
instant
camper
victory.
at this current moment. Again, I think what Kirishima needs is just to keep going at it. He just needs to keep getting, like, with every match you gain experience, win or lose, and you're gonna get to a point to where you've accumulated so much that you pretty much can, like, you can just learn on the fly. Like, you can just figure people out on the fly, and he has time for that. Nagano Kirishima has time to gain that experience. I mean, there's nothing stopping him at this current moment. Well, can't really say happy after that last bit there, but he is a fit young, he is a fit young man with nothing but his future ahead of him. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's not focus in on the ifs or if nots. Let us go to our next program here. We go to an in-ring promo from Dr. Caliban of House Caliban.
Good day, Multiverse. Again, allow me to introduce myself. I am Dr. Vincent Vladimir Caliban, MD, PhD, MAD. And while I know, again, I understand you're confused, no, I am still part of Flashbang's roster. I am simply here as a medical professional because of the case of Vinsmoke Sanji. And I need to give you an update. So powerful was the remnants of the hat. Even though they threatened Mr. Sanji's life, they were more than it could be handled in simply a match against the Outlaws. So we are currently devising a new match to put even more stress on the hat, more effort, so that we can get a proper reading and be able to rid Mr. Sanji of this blight. We will keep working. I will not allow this man to die such an ignoble death. We will find the means to extricate this malady from him and make him whole once more. So say I, Dr. Caliban. I am at...
How's it going, Doc? How's it going, people who sit there and watch the other people? But, yeah, no, I had to come out here and check. You know, we had the Frieza thing earlier and the other thing. And, you know, it's my job to stop that as part of JIF, the Jackson investigation firm. How's it going, Caliban? How's the hat thing?
It's going well. As I said, we are going to set up a new match for Mr. Sanji. One that will put even more stress. I just talked about this. Seth, just because I appear in the ring doesn't mean you have to appear every time. We have our regular therapy sessions every Thursday. Remember, today's not Thursday, right? You do remember the difference between days. We have gone over this. I give you a list.
Well, there's days when you and I hang out, and you were here, so I thought it was one of those days. I lost the calendar, the little calendar you gave me. But anyway, I just wanted to come out here and make it known to this entire damn locker room that, well, I ain't gonna handle this no more. I ain't dealing with all this magical hoo-ha on my own.
All right, because I understand magical hoo-ha is your ballywick. So, what do you mean not on you? Have you found a recruit? Are you putting out a want ad? What do you mean, Seth? I always feel bad asking this question. What do you mean? Explain yourself.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, is recruit. I would like to make, recruit, create, new, I would like to recruiting, that's the word. I would like to start recruiting for the Jackson investigation firm, and I'm going to begin that here. Istanbul, you have an invitation. You did well with me the other week. We won that match, goddammit.
Yes, I saw that match. He did quite well. Seth, my understanding is Mr. Istanbul is a Turkish oil wrestler. Do you know if he has any experience dealing with the supernatural? That would be an important question. You know, has he dealt with ghosts or ghouls or fey creatures?
Well, in the books that I stole from your library, I have read that The Turkish indeed were the original vampire hunters, so that's a plus, especially with current people in the locker room. But other than that, as long as he can punch hard enough, you can hit a ghost. I swear to God it works. But anyway, I just wanted to come out here and say that if anyone was interested in joining Jiff, we don't make peanut butter, but if you want to join Jiff, you can just talk to me.
I mean, there were vampire hunters. You know, I'm not going to get into the history of vampire hunters. That's just because he's from Turkey doesn't mean he is. You know what? That's fine. Interview the man. That is certainly your business, and you could certainly, I suppose, stand to have a stabilizing force. He would be a stabilizing force. Yes, I've not actually met the man. What's he like? You know what? Never mind. I don't need to know. I have work to do. I have a patient to care for. I have my own house to do. I will see you on Thursday for our next appointment. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Vincent Vladimir Caliban. I am, of course, a proper villain, and I bid you adieu. Yes, thank you, sir.
You want me to do what?
It's time to go back and back, sir.
Wait, this way?
We're done. Yes, follow me, sir.
That was a lot to unpack. Well, for one, we have Dr. Caliban, who is trying to perform more stress tests on Vince Smoke Sandry, trying to get to the bottom of what it is that it was afflicting him with the hat being removed. And also we have Seth Jackson coming out and making an open recruitment for the Jackson investigation firm, or JIF, or is it GIF? I can't remember. Anyway, but as that was playing, we had the man, the myth, the legend himself, Beowulf, come out and on social media, said this before on Warzone, and I'll say it again here. It was a good fight with Mr. Kirishima. Sometimes you got to be knocked down in order to reach your potential. And Wand, I see you there. How dare? How dare? So, speaking of the Jackson investigation firm, they had a very... We'll settle this later. Both Seth Jackson and Istanbul had a very interesting match with the next match, with two of the competitors in this next match here. The Conquest Bloodline of Carney and Val, and Gorm as well, against the Toxic Wastelanders, Big Papa Plutonium himself, and the Gore Wheel. Former tag team champions going up against Carnival. Oh, just out the gate. Big right hook onto Carney. And the Toxic Wastelanders, word was backstage that they wanted to get more into singles actions, but here they are in their element as tag team experts. Got Big Papa kind of giving another big uppercut.
As the Atomic Adonis is throwing him around.
And just whipping Carney right into the corner, trying to cut off the ring. And here comes the master of the meat wagon, the Gore Wheel, with his assisted powerbomb right onto Carnival's neck. Gorm asks, Gorm demanding for a tag to get let in. He remembers what happened in that showcase match in the previous week. I think that's actually how they got this match. Gorm wanted a tag match. Gorm wanted to get back a Gore Wheel, and this is what we came up with. Nice tactic from the Muppet Man, and then tagging in Gorm, and now we have that rematch coming in. Gore Wheel coming right out the gate. He has been wanting to face Gorm the entire time, and I don't blame him. Counter with that back elbow, though. Seriously, one strike from Gorm's elbow, and Gore Wheel was busted open. That's not going to be confusing whatsoever. Gorm, Gore Wheel, Gorm, Gore Wheel. Like, seriously, say that 5 times fast. Gorm, Gore Wheel.
And now an elbow.
You can't. God, those vicious elbow strikes opening that wound a lot more. I'm just raking it in. God, he picked a spot. He is picking a spot and working with it. Oh, okay. No, Sage, no. Nobody. Enough of that. That's cursed. Because I can't imagine... until they fuse and become Gorm Wheel in chat for those who are on YouTube. Yeah, that is curse knowledge because I don't want to imagine Gorm with a triple mohawk. They got Big Pop. We got Gorm tagging in Domain Man. Domain Man with a couple of new tattoos. The 69XY is on his back, and Elza was here on his abs. I'm not sure I needed to know that. In fact, I would much rather stay out of Domain Man's Domain Harem or something like that. According to social media, the manager for the Conquest Bloodline, apparently they had to hose down Gorm for 30 minutes just to get that radiated blood off of him. I don't blame you. That is, I mean, thankfully we had a bunch of plutonium. It's a plutonium, so it's not going to be anything relevant for a while. And Carnival getting tagged right back in, getting tossed around by Domain Man, Big Papa Plutonium himself. Hang on, there's some. Oh yeah, the Atomic Adonis. And here we got this coming up. Buckle bomb right into the turnbuckle. 1, 2, 3. The Toxic Wastelanders take this match, showing off like just how effective they are as a tag team, how effective they were as the tag team champions. I would love to see them try and go for a rematch against Shoot Nation, but it looks like that they are more wanting to stick to a singles action. I think to mostly differentiate themselves and become a bit more well-rounded. Because as a tag, I mean, it's just something that Spike said on the previous Flashbang. As a tag team, you can't really showcase your talents as much. But I don't but yeah, like looks like we got thank you for the bits there, Sparrow. That is much appreciated. What was it? Oh my god, lost my train of thought. While I try to find where my brain is at right now, we unfortunately saw Nakano Kirishima get a number into the loss column from Beowulf. Not very happy with his results, so he requested some mic time. And ladies and gentlemen, Nakano Kirishima.
You know, I tried my best out there. I really did. I gave it my all, but unfortunately, my emotions got to me. Yeah, I got a little angry. I got a little upset. I took it too far. Not far enough, because I lost. All right? I lost, but I'm not gonna let that happen anymore. So you, Beowulf, the legend, whatever, I'm not gonna let this continue to happen to myself, all right? I'm gonna continue putting in 110%. I'm gonna continue shoving that effort into the face of my opponents and making them jealous. Because I am the delinquent of MNW, and I'm gonna show you just how bad I could be when I get going. Whether it comes in W's, whether it comes to brutal beatdowns, I'm gonna be there. And I'm gonna prove every single week you can't count out the delinquent. All right? I'm looking at you, all of you out there. Remember my name. Remember Kirishima. All right? That's a promise.
Nakano Kirishima, baby! I love it! I love what I see. I love your attitude. I love you never say die. I love everything about you, baby, and the funk loves you. I don't mean the funk, I mean the funk, the flow of the funk. For I am one with the funk, and the funk is with me, and it could be with you too, baby.
Listen, Mr. Funk Chrome guy, listen. I don't understand what you're exactly getting at here, but I was having some words with the people. You know, assuring them and whatnot. So if you have something to say to me, spit it out. I'd like to hear what the point is. So if you could get there in, let's say, the next hour, that would be
Baby, what I'm here to do is make you an offer. You got everything it takes. All you lack is the W's, and I can help you there. Let me take you to Cloud 9. I can lift you up. I can make you see the stars. I can make sure you're making other people see the lights when you are pinning them. What do you say, baby?
First, I'd have to know what this whole Cloud 9 thing is, you know? Gonna need a little bit more information. You got a pamphlet or something? Maybe a website? But if you're saying I could start picking up wins, I'm listening. So, go on. Talk more about that. That interests
And
me.
that right there, I knew you were the right one. The folk told me you were the boy I needed to make into a man. Yeah, Cloud 9 is a movement. It is a state of being. It is a spiritual enlightenment. And I can bring it to you. And when I do so, I promise you, baby, you are going to shine.
Well, that don't sound too bad. That sounds pretty good. Say you're a veteran and whatnot. You think I really got what it takes? I've been coming out here trying to prove it every week, but you know, sometimes you just get into your own head. But
Kirishima, baby, I wouldn't be out here if I didn't. I would not waste my time with a nobody. Oh no, you are somebody, and I am going to make you somebody special. Yeah, stick with old the funk, and we will make Nakano Kirishima. You will no longer be the delinquent. You will be the boss. You will be the winner. You are going to taste gold, I promise you.
Before you say that, always going to be the delinquent. Always going to have a screw loose. But, you know, tutelage under you and the clouds and whatnot. Sounds great. Yeah, I'm not signing anything right now, but definitely give it some thought. You know, do I have to be iridescent and dance and all that crap?
That's the best part, baby. I'm just going to make you more yourself. Oh, no, we're going to tap into the inner Nakano. We're going to find that part of you that wants to win, that wants to dominate. I will teach you the ways of the great bull. That will lead us to top of the Cloud 9, and you will be on top of the world. You already got a head start. I love it. So follow me, my boy, and I will let you shine.
All right, so my previous theory of what was it? Of Cloud 9 being a new finish was incorrect. It's apparently a faction that Defunk is doing. It's interesting. I'm not gonna lie, it's very interesting. Like, he's saying that he's feeling it is an understatement at the moment. I mean, he's even like invoking Bosco's name as like a state of being. Like, hey, this is what I want you to be. If this could actually be what Nakano Kirishima needs. A mentor, someone to learn under who can bring out the best version of himself. Especially with Defunk. I would not refuse Defunk if he invited me, personally speaking. I mean, the man has a title match coming up next week against Raphael Sampson, as well as, I mean, he's just hitting on. It's like he's got a new pep to his step. No pun intended. But, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we have our Warzone promo of the week. The previous promos were from the last couple of episodes. We were very dire and very serious. So we decided to go with something a bit more lighthearted. So, ladies and gentlemen, Eastern Block Party.
Nice eyes. This is Lakan. Do you read me?
Loud and clear, Torovich. Have you made your way inside?
Jawohl. I have successfully infiltrated VIP headquarters.
Very good, very good. Your task is to find the VIP central computer and download whatever viral information you can find onto a flash drive I provided for you.
Wait. A central computer? This is a wrestling faction, not an intelligence agency. What kind of central computer would VIP even have?
Just find any computer and see what you can get off it.
And how would I do that? You know I'm not exactly an expert with a computer.
It is simple, my friend. Once you reach a computer, equip your flash drive and press the action button.
Yeah, got it. Equip the flash drive and press the action button. Is there anything else I need to know?
Remember, this is a stealth mission. Under no circumstances can you be discovered.
Not to worry, my friend. I have the ultimate disguise. There's no chance they're going to find...
Hey, guys, we got a weird package here. Who ordered it?
Hey, maybe it's the new TV we ordered.
Nah, it's just Larkin.
Larkin? Nine!
Get back here, you Bradworth-eating bastard!
Nice eyes. They've spotted me. Aborting mission. I'm coming back to the vents right now.
Wait, vent. Oh God, Larkin, get out of there now!
Oh, hello, little fellow. How are you? My God, what is that?
Larkin, come in! Larkin!
And here we have Yakiniku Party coming in for the Nexus Titan qualifier with Lock-In. It looks like he made it out of whatever he discovered. Thank Christ. And the best boy of Warzone, Sir McCheese, taking it easy on everybody by not showing his abs. And Bart Ender, coming in from Nakamo Worldwide. And here we got Lock-In going up against Bart Ender. Yakiniku Party going up against Sir McCheese. Classic matchup, actually, from the previous one. See, and if I forgot to mention this, this match is a match for the this is to qualify for the Nexus Titan Championship, held by Lady Boots at the Super Show next Saturday. And it looks like we changed up some damage partners. We got Lock-In versus Nice Ice and Bart Ender versus Yakiniku Party. Definitely two guys you want to be friends with at the bar. You know, Bart Ender serving the drinks and Yakiniku. Well, look at him. How could you not want to be his friend or around him? He is a pretty man. I will say it. I can say that.
And up again.
Lock-In still going up against McCheese. McCheese kind of concealing his abs, making sure that everyone has a fair chance. Our graphics design team makes a very good mention on social media. So, for those who do not remember, or who have not been around here before, Yakiniku Party was a former member of Nakamo Worldwide. And here we have Bart Ender, the current leader of Nakamo Worldwide, after Trashman's disappearance, let's just say. No one knows where he is. No one knows what's going on with the Trash Man, and you know, a bunch of people are kind of happy for that. Me personally speaking, I don't know. Like despite his,
he's been doing this a long time.
Despite his, despite his personality, let's say, Trash Man actually is a fantastic wrestler. Like the garbage day powerbomb is just so brutal looking. Like definitely one of. I mean, Banisher. Like, I mean, he's got the second. I think he's got the second highest kill count for clowns outside of Sawyer.
Earth's gravity, I believe. I mean, yeah, these various planets he's visited.
And here we have Yakiniku going up against McCheese.
My question is,
and gets countered out. I believe he was going for Party Time. Not Party Time, it was
getting tied up by McCheese, pinfall predicament, kicks out.
Sage, yeah, I believe no. Sage, no. I believe they were separated out because like it was like Earl King and then Trash Man, and then Hyrule and Cat was coming later. I think Cat was like an interim member of Nakama. I can't remember. It's been a while, and I've done a lot since then. Then we got Bart, Ender, and Locking, kind of locking back up.
Also, maybe capitalize is
Okay,
not the
no.
best choice of words.
I'm not as pun fluid as Robbie is. I understand this now.
Something, and it was great.
Then we have Yakiniku setting up for something big. Going up for that armbar, but Locking breaks out immediately.
With the power advantage, though, able to just twist out of that.
That's the one thing that's going to
Yakiniku, a space bounty hunter who comes back every time he gets a chance to prove his worth and pretty much like remind people why he was a fan favorite back before the Inquisition arc. It's like we got a couple of pinfalls. 1, 2. Yakiniku has been eliminated.
Wow. Yakiniku party has been eliminated.
And there's the first down.
Yeah, they're
Yakiniku party.
Travis, buddy, no. God.
Yeah, getting the see in space. Yeah, you're right. Oh no.
Well, we got the last call on to Lockin.
Yep, that's it. It is
and
time.
will Lockin tap? He taps out.
And out goes
Bart Ender picking up one elimination.
Lockin has been eliminated.
And it's McCheese versus Bart Ender. I can't remember if they've actually faced each other before. Well, not just the Inquisition arc, but before the shift over from onto Jerry Aldini as the general manager. I would have to consult the records from that one. I gotta look at the freaking record books more often. Is what I'm trying to fit learn here. Looks like it got a pin attempt onto Bart Ender. 1, 2, 3. Your new #1 contender for the Nexus Titan Champion, Warzone's best boy, the man with the fantastic abs. It is Sir McCheese. And that's going to be a dynamic that that's a very curious dynamic. Is pretty much the picture perfect of one of two people in this multiverse who are picture perfect examples of innocence and just good-hearted nature against the mistress of corruption herself, Lady Boots. And I am here for that match, and I am here for pretty much the conflicting of ideologies from either of them. But going in from one match to another, and actually not one match, the feud between the Burning Lounge or Chained Hell and Omega Club has been like really kicking off as of late. And here we have next Hightower of the Burning Lounge in the ring.
Right, listen up. First off, everyone asks, why did I change my outfit? Really simple, folks. I got my conviction overturned. My record has been cleaned. I am no longer a convict, so why should I wear prison garb? Just think about it, humans. But that's not why I'm here. No, I am here to talk about Omega Club. That's right, those bastards. So high and mighty with their pub. Well, you know what? We're business owners too now in Chained Hell. We have the Burning Lounge. And we've been trying to promote it, but I gotta tell you, Omega Club hasn't been making it easy on us. And they're constantly harassing us in the ring. What's that about? No, it's all kind of small business owner down. But we're just trying to make a fresh start in our lives. All of us, me, Azul, Constantinople, Portland, and my buddy the Flame Man. Just trying to make a new lease on our lives. And what do? Constant harassment from those Omega users. Just pissing it. You're funny.
Yeah, you're real funny, Hightower. Story time is nice. Keeping the small business owner down. Yeah, look, buddy, you attacked us. That's right. My good friend, the kid, Gunner.
Look, I know what you're gonna say. It's all crap. You're trying to say we started this fight. We did not start this fight. No, we are simply trying to defend ourselves against your constant harassment. So, I guess you're wanting a piece of Hightower. Is that what you want? Is that what you're looking for?
I'm just looking to shut you up while you try and deceive these people. You say you're not a convict anymore. That's a great technicality, Hightower. But you know what? Once criminal, always a criminal. I don't buy this reform. Now, you're coming out here saying we started it with you. I think you and I are going to be having a problem.
Oh, yeah. I agree on that one. We are definitely having a problem, Megawoods. So, seems like you've decided you want to get in my face. You want to bring, you and I haven't faced each other yet in this whole feud, I guess. So, you want a piece of Hightower? Is that what you're saying? Just go ahead and say it, man.
Oh, I'm saying it. Yeah, I want a piece of Hightower. Well, let's you and I, let's have a match. How does next week sound? Does next week sound good? Next week sounds good. I know Oldini said we couldn't get on the Super Show because it's stacked, but that doesn't mean you and I can't get some time in to help settle this issue.
Oh yeah. No, that sounds great. Let's do it. I would love. You know what? Give me it all. Do that, whatever thing you do to wear that fancy outfit of yours. I'd love to face you in your hero form.
You want to face me in my henshin form? You want to face Rider X? Oh yeah. That can happen. Let's do that. You and me, Hightower. The convict versus the Rider. I love it. Let's do it.
Convict anymore. God damn it. That was overturned. It was proven I wasn't even there. I am a upstanding citizen.
And it looks like the feet got cut off there. I believe there was more, but I'm not sure what happened. So, this coming Saturday on Warzone, we have Mega Blitz X versus can't say the convict anymore, versus Hightower. And see, Mega's showing a very rare, I'm not sure what's going on with Mega, because he was usually the more reserved member of Omega Club, and now he's coming out here he's got so much he's so confident in himself. I think holding the Big Oof title definitely probably did wonders for his self-esteem as well. Holding a title in general could give someone a huge boost in self-confidence. But I don't know, with how Hightower was previously, not only as Convict 311, but also when he came back and formed Chained Hell with the Flame Revenant, his promos were very eerie, to say the least. I think he had one where he said that he probably killed somebody in a promo, or maybe that was just for effect. But either way, that should be a fantastic match, especially because you have Rider X, Mega Blitz's alternate form, and he hits harder, moves quicker. It is just fantastic. Up again, pretty much, it's a speed versus power fight that I am definitely here for. Either way, coming up next is something that, we have the number one contender,
the main event,
Osir Turan, versus one of the members of
Sawyer.
Meme, R. Sawyer, the undisputed future himself. And these were matches that preluding to Ausir's match against Zako Duo at the Super Show
Starting
next
off.
week.
Getting a quick shot off on
Sawyer
Azul Turan,
is showing
taking him to
off
the corner.
why,
And
like out the
VI
gate, was trying to show
countering.
off why he is a former
Fighting
world
back.
champion,
Oh!
even if he. Actually, not
Oh,
he
signaling
is a
Boston
former,
Crab.
he is a former world
Showing
champion.
some of the bots'
And
prowess, however.
Ausir showing
Turan's
that
not going to let
resilience
that
himself.
stand.
I mean, this is
Submission
what
expert, he
happens
definitely
when you face off against
would definitely know how to
a
get out on
tag
most tag
expert,
matches,
or a
just
submission
wrenching at
expert,
that
sorry.
arm too.
And
My
immediately, as
God.
we well know,
Trying to pull it out of
Ozzy
its
going after
socket.
damn doof. We don't need VIP and me making more goddamn work for our accountants. Sandman, have you ever heard of the Streisand effect? We'll talk about
And
it. Yeah.
here we have
Meanwhile,
wrenching on that arm
Ozzy
once
Turan
more.
working that arm.
Sawyer flipping right out of it.
Showing that technical prowess. Beautiful transition there,
And
but it
we
was
have
cut
a
off with an
tweet
elbow.
from Maximilian Thunderthighs.
And outside the ring. I am assuming,
why?
from what we heard from
Yo
Arthur last
Sawyer
week, that the
was
repairs
left
have
in a
gone
pile
into
of
Zach
scrap.
O'Neill's arm and
Got to get
we
into
have heard
that
he is
match
medically
only
cleared
to
to
tap,
compete.
tap, tap, yo.
Or
So-
mechanically.
Yeah, I guess that would be the case in his.
Maximilian Thunderthighs, I'm actually
going to
say
To
this.
be somebody like
I will
Dr.
actually
Calbank
say
clearing
this.
somebody for,
I'm disappointed in you.
competition, but apparently it was our
There,
chief
I said
mechanic
it.
that had to clear Zacho Duo.
Your rhymes were good last time, and they've been good since.
Yeah,
and then,
from
and then
our
you,
Sawyer.
you
He is a
present that onto
strong
my
striker.
table. Anyway,
Absolutely.
we got
As he seeks to
Sawyer fighting
terminate
Ausir
the
out
career
into the
of Ozzy
outside,
Turan right here
and
now.
Those hydraulics and
and,
servos.
and
firing
that's actually
on
going to be
full
one of the
tilt
more
here.
intelligent moves that Sawyer could have done, is get Ausir
VI
out
Pharaoh
of the
has
ring
not had enough
and
yet.
then fight him. I'm not saying get a count out victory,
Ooh,
but pretty
DDT.
much weaken him on the outside.
A very innovative
Because, like,
one, really, with the way he crosses
He can
his
put
arms
he can
and
lock you
going
in a
after the
submission move all
leg.
you want. You can't really tap out
Trying
outside
to
the ring
take
in a
away
normal,
some of
in a normal
Ozir's
one-fall
tools
match.
in order to get those submissions
Let's
locked
go with
in.
individuals. Oh,
And then here we
I
have
was gonna
Ausir
say something that-
going
let's
back
talk
for that
about
arm,
the
wrenching at
pain
the
that Ozzy
fingers.
Turan is delivering to our Sawyer's arms. This is the
Just
question I always
tactical
wonder. If
precision.
you're a bot, why were you programmed to feel pain?
Yeah, those
That
pain
is
receptors
Ausir
got to be
Turan.
lighting up like a Christmas tree.
And then switching into a headlock of his own is
Oh,
our
but he's
Sawyer.
got a head locked in.
Wrenching on the head. Ozzy no,
And
oh,
doing
no,
a pose for
no,
the
it's-
crowd.
Oh boy.
It's not
And
as
crowd's
impressive
feeling it.
when you do
Everyone's
this.
loving
You're
it.
already a robot.
Yeah, that does.
And just bringing
That's
him
not
up,
the point. No, jeez.
I think
Okay,
he once
well-
said there was something about reclaiming it for my people.
getting a few clotheslines in for
Oh,
good measure.
Just clothesline after clothesline. Now going to the corner. Oh, just punching him in the gut and the dome.
Going in
So
for
back in your day,
those
whenever you're
boxing-
at the
like
club
for
and you
those,
hit the
boxing
robot,
like
you were
punches straight to
appropriating
the
our
dome.
Sawyer's culture.
I have never done the robot in my life.
One,
More of a
Two
school
and
guy.
only two count.
Ausir kicks out at 2.
Fine.
No, 'cause then I'm gonna go
Fine.
from the You know, I have to
Here we
run
got
out
that
with
neck.
Eric Tavares.
I need to know. I need to figure out what that move.
Anyway,
is.
back
Tell
to the
Eric I
action.
said bite me. Anyway, okay, yeah, back to the
And,
action. Azul Turan
wow.
stomping on the
See-
legs.
Let's turn this down a little
Oh,
bit.
and-
Sawyer. Ooh.
Right.
Oops.
Oh, just working over the again, working over those arms.
And then
Classic Ozzy
Just going
Turan.
right back into the arms.
Taking away the striker's ability to strike at least with the top half of their body.
Excuse me. There's
Oh,
someone
there we
talking out in
go.
the hallway.
Boot on the head. Boot
don't
on
see
the
the
armpit.
lights.
Waiting for Ozzy to get back up and then trying to pound him
More
back down.
clubbing
I
blows
think.
onto Ausir
Yep,
Turan.
Ozzy
Second
busted
rope
open.
stunner.
Ooh.
And
Going in
there's
for
a
that
stunner.
cover.
That was was
One,
a stunner, wasn't it?
two,
That was a cyber stunner right there.
almost a 3.
Jerry, maybe
Sawyer
if I
can't
start
believe it.
wrestling
He is
over VIP,
upset.
How about that?
Looks like he's trying to go in for
Sure,
another cyber
that
stunner.
could be- I can think of a lot of people that would love to adopt
Suplex.
the world of
Oh,
wrestling.
just dropping him right on his
Ooh, yeah,
face.
but it's
My
not gonna happen.
God.
That was a joke. I'm in the world of wrestling as a commentator. Azul Turan with a beautiful European
Yeah.
uppercut there. Oh, The bot showing his strength.
Picking him up, just tossing him
Toss to the
right back
outside.
outside. That, again, one of the smarter decisions if you're ever going up against anyone who uses submissions. Bring them on the outside, beat them up for like, I don't know, 7, 8 seconds, and then just drag them right back into the ring. It's kind of what makes Cat and Burden so freaking lethal.
This has been back and forth.
And Aussie, knowing this, like having had this tactic literally just done to him, drags him back into the ring.
In position, bringing him up again, and
and then a Breath of the Nile armbar. And Sawyer taps.
Oh my God, that was
your winner, the
number
#1 contender, Aussie Turner of VIP. Definitely feeling it before his title match next week. And who knows what he and the rest of VIP have planned for that title match itself, especially, I mean, planned for next week in general. That's terrifying when you think about it. But coming up next is your Warzone main event. We have, representing VIP for some reason, Maximilian Thunder Thighs going up against your MNW World Champion Zaco Duo of Meme. The champ, ladies and gentlemen, is here. And I'm not sure if this was another like something else for Maximilian Thunder Thighs to another task that they were forcing him to do, or they really wanted to punish Zaco before his title match next week. The verbal abuse is never going to be enough when it comes to Zaco Duo. He has thick. Well, of course he's got thick skin. He's a robot. Like, so you can't really get any thicker than steel. But he does not let a lot get to him. Especially not after he won the World Championship. And just dropping Max right on the back of his head.
He uses that upper body strength, which he has plenty of. So if you disable that, you're going to disable a lot of that offense.
Man, that freaking curve stop on the back of Maximilian's neck, though. My God. World Champion definitely showing his stuff in this match. Just giving him the boots, just pushing him right against that turnbuckle there. Looking for that cover, kicks out at 1. I mean, Maximilian is still a very fierce competitor, even if he is gone to a bit of a more flashy side, I want to say. Flashy side of the multiverse. That's literally coated in gold and purple everywhere. Here we have Maximilian just like attacking the.
Absolutely. Probably, he has to have that.
Excuse me, somebody was giving me stop giving me notes, fellas. Oh, that freaking flip over stunner. Maximilian trying to fight right back out. Belly to belly suplex. Just beautiful looking. God, it's another one of those power versus speed matches. Especially like Maximilian, he's very proficient in picking somebody up and just tossing them over him, as if he's not, as if it's like nothing.
Expert, Jerry, and it's why I'm the fun expert.
Just nice shoulder check there. Looks here we see that they're on the outside.
What are we getting next?
Zaco lights you up with one of those combinations, hitting you in the face, hitting you in the gut. It just lights up all the.
Just laying into the world champion.
Everything that can does.
Sort of like, crack of thunder right onto the outside.
Beautiful little. Was that like a little pack?
I believe it was the crack of thunder. I remember him doing a spine buster of sorts.
Oh, into the steel steps.
Tossing Max right into the steel steps. Just, it what? All right, I'm getting word from our reporter Travis that it was. Looks like Maximilian after hearing the ref, trying to go in for a Galaxy Brain win, but Zacho is too quick.
Oh, that's not a good spot, Max.
Oh, beautiful German though.
Max, reversal by Max. Judo
That's a little reversal from from Maximilian Thunder Thighs, or is it Money Thighs? I can't remember like if that's an actual if that's why like if he's like went with a name change. And a few things that people didn't really remember about this match is if Maximilian Thunder Thighs gets pinned, and that's a flop. That's a Ric Flair style flop right there. I don't care who you are. I'm glad I kept that in.
Doesn't mean you can't get better.
A nice little chop to Thunder Thighs' chest. Dragging him out, going to the middle rope. Elbow drop straight to the heart.
Reversal by Max.
Oh, just breaking him across the Maximilian Thunder Thighs' knees. Right on the Thunder Thighs. Max goes to the middle rope himself. He's feeling it. He's feeling it. Going for. Tries to go for a crossbody, but gets denied.
Gave the big man time to breathe.
Thunder Thighs appears to be in control. Looks like he's going for it one more time.
Straight out of the playbook of Azul Tehran attacking the arms like that.
Going for another crossbody, but gets denied again. Maximilian should not be going for that middle rope move. He should stick to being on the ground. I guess that's probably one of those stipulations VIP asked him to do, and he's complying for some reason. No one ever knows why. Oh, and we know what comes next. The Zacho special. And nope, knee to the face, clothesline. He juked him. Bamboozled even.
I feel like everyone deserves a kick in the balls, Jared.
You got the world champ back in control of this match, ladies and gentlemen. Kicks to the neck. Maximilian does a quick reversal there. Picking up the world champ, but gets dropped back onto his back for good measure in that reverse DDT. Elbow drop. Whipping Max into the corner once again.
Because there was just a tweet out from Max's account, but he's in the ring.
He's dropping on the knees again. Oh, God. Just powerball right into the ropes. Oh, my God. I see people use those ropes to assist in a power bomb to kind of get a bit more leverage, but never dropping somebody onto the ropes themselves.
All right, sending Max back to the corner.
Trying to go for that knee strike once again. Max definitely has his number. And now we have Max kind of just dancing along, kind of feeling the crowd.
Trying to hype him up, getting ready to.
You gotta think that there might be a few disappointed kids in that crowd. Because Maximilian Thunder Thighs, before joining VIP, used to be for the children. But for some reason, is now willingly taking orders from VIP. We will never know until Maximilian Thunder Thighs gets beaten and someone reads that letter that he has on his person at all times. Granted, I'm not gonna lie. If that letter it just says "you suck" with like Wilson's face on it, I would not be surprised. In fact, that's what I think is the. I think that's what it's in that letter. It's just a huge freaking gag from Wilson. I would not put it past him. He's deceptively cunning like that. Like we give him a lot of guff, but he actually is pretty freaking smart. It's just that he's another one of those cases where the ego kind of lets hold. Oh, God, that curb stomp, though.
He is an absolute tactician.
Sending Zacho onto the outside. Oh, God.
He knows how to get under his opponent's skin.
He just got on social media, or worse, one of Wilson's NFTs. No, thank you. Nice little headbutt there onto the world champion. Going right back in, trying to go for that Galaxy Brain win once more. Oh, he's crawling to the top. Gets caught into a Judgment of Anubis. Message sent to Azul Tehran.
That was Azul Tehran's move.
And now, oh, Zako's fired up now. Backstabber right onto Thunder Thighs. Oh yeah. He is definitely he's in the zone. He's in his element right now. The ace of MNW, he calls himself, and for good reason. He's been, I mean, not only one of the more popular talent, but he can definitely match it in the ring as well. We got Maximilian Thunder Thighs in control once more. Oh, just that wind up punch straight to Zako's eye. Bit of a jawbreaker there, trying to go for a crossbody of his own, but gets denied by Thunder Thighs. And then a neck breaker.
Oh my God! Hell of a bulldog.
Oh, hello. We got from Thunder Thighs himself. We have an exclusive here. The letter is something that has been written before. I guess scour the freaking promo section of the MNW Discord, ladies and gentlemen, to figure out what this clue could be. It's been written before, so it has to be something that Thunder Thighs has mentioned previously. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you got a mystery on your hands. Let's see if you can solve it. Sound off in the if you think you found it, please post in the Firing Line General or in the YouTube comments. Got Zako throwing Maximilian into the ring, going in for that cover. 1, 2. Oh no, kicks out at 1.
He could have run smart there, kicked him in the nuts, but no.
See, so yeah, something Michael Montoya just said just now kind of actually rung a couple of things. Not once has Zako gone to the typical Zako well, and
I don't think he would have kicked out.
Not once has Zako actually hit someone in the groin. There's no punches to the groin, like not once. I think it's because Zako. I think Zako mentioned it once that he, like he's trying. Not only is he trying to get away from that, he's trying to get away from what. He's trying to do something. Like he's trying to be more legit about this.
For this hard-hitting style of wrestling.
Then we got a bunch of reversals into that corner. Zako coming out fighting.
Okay, now what?
Leading Maximilian to the other. Looks like to the ropes. And then whipping Maximilian, gets counter for his measure. And then handstand Hurricane Rana. And just styling on the onto Thunder Thighs right here.
That was unexpected. He's become such an efficient.
Whip right back into the corner. His Thunder Thighs. But get counters. Sending the champion to the corner, turning him around for something big, I think. Yeah, full Nelson just driving the head right into the turnbuckle. Turnbuckle Chan's getting a lot of attention right now. Yes, that's right, I remember. And then there it is. Asnable effect. It is done. 1, 2, 3. Your winner, the world champion, Zako Duo. Big win going into his title match next week at the Super Show. And ladies and gentlemen, that just about concludes Warzone for this week. But we have one more segment. Ladies and gentlemen, the Warzone moment of the week.
But mon ami, I would not wish to be disrespectful. You are a prince. You are a champion. You have suffered greatly at the hands of miscreants. And I understand you have many grudges that must be settled. How could I possibly be rude to you? I respect you.
No, it's not a matter of being rude. It's the matter of showing that you can do this. That you can take it to the hardcore champ. And I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. There's no problem in that. You want it, you got it. But I want to see the fire behind those eyes. I want to see the fire behind those glasses. Do you understand that?
Well, trust me, the fire is there. I do not have to be boisterous or rude to have passion. I'm, after all, French Canadian. I live in Quebec. You have no idea what Quebec is like, I can tell. No. It's there. I can bring it as hard as anywhere.
No, that... You're supposed to... Tug on my beard! Slap me in the face! Do something, come on! I want to see the rage behind it. I know you have to have some anger inside that. Come on, there's got to be something inside that polite, unnerving face of yours.
And there you have it, the moment of the week this week. I love the story that is like, I just love the conflicting ideologies that both men have been showing off when it comes to their match next week at the Super Show. It's pretty much, you got laid higher rolled. I mean, again, the calm before the storm versus like pretty much like so calm, collected, but you know for a fact he can bring the freaking heat. And then you got Daggerick, the firecracker himself. I mean, this is going to be a fantastic match, and I'm all here for it. So, with that, we are done with Firing Line for this evening. So, with all this being said and done, as we are winding down here, I would like to thank you all for joining us. And please tune in to Friday Night Flashbang at twitch.tv/EdwardBosco at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And the Go Home Show before the Super Show for MNW Warzone at twitch.tv/Dr. Caliban at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joe, signing out.